At last, 4 nations rosters are here. We're getting into every single team, snubs, surprises, and everything in between.
And we are talking the best teams in the league, plus we're doing a beer league hotline, plus we're playing a trivia game. We're going to have a ton of fun today. Let's do it.
Come on, baby. Ice is ready, and we are back with another episode of the Empty Netters podcast, brought to you by BetMGM. We are finally back from the Thanksgiving holiday break. We had some crazy travels, and we realized that the places we were in is where we both belong.
And Dan, I got to say, I have lived the majority of... I had a revelation.
Dude, I can't, like, I need...
I had a revelation.
I need listeners to know that last night I got home from London, and which is where I belong. I am a London boy. It is just official. I'm a London boy. When I got home, it was the first time I saw you in a week and a half.
2 years.
It felt like it. And
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, dude, it didn't feel like long enough. You're a sicko. It's great to get away from you.
Dude.
Because I miss you more. I actually talked to someone over there who works with their sibling.
Yeah.
And we were just connecting on so many of the things, of the great things that it's like to work with your sibling. And one of the things that I said to her, I was like, you know what's really funny is like when you hang out with your siblings, your best friend, your siblings, your coworker, there are times where you're like, God, I fucking see a lot of you, man.
Yeah.
Like too much, someone said.
much.
The second we separate, I do find myself being like something funny happens and I'm just like texting you the whole time.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I guess I'm used to you being right here. So when you're not, I'm like, well, I got to fucking tell Chris that.
Yeah. I find our Instagram DMs go way up.
Way up, dude.
Because I'm just like...
There's a direct correlation with distance between us and IG DMs. But you had a revelation.
I had a revelation. I have spent the majority of my adult life being made fun of by you for how I dress.
Dude, a genuine question I have for you. So I disavow that.
Yeah, well, you can't.
I reject that.
That is a fact.
Because I think what I'm doing is giving you constructive criticism. I come to you as a concerned friend and family member going, dude, you could step your game up.
Under the assumption that you are right. Like, you go... do this.
But I think...
And that's not true.
But I think most people would agree that I have decent to good style.
Yep.
And I think I'm not the only person you're hearing this from.
And what you just said there was very important, Dan. You said most people.
Yeah.
You know who that...
Hey, not everyone.
You know who that... Here's a diagram of... a Venn diagram of... This circle is most people.
Okay.
Okay? So then, like, this circle, which has a huge overlap with most people... is like Italians. I would say like most.
Was that like you're thinking Italian people have great style?
Yeah, I was like,
yeah, that's good.
Cool.
That's good.
So I'm like, Italians, most Italians are in the most people, but there's a few that I'm like, no.
Yeah.
So then here's another circle that touches the most people circle, but does not overlap with it. Okay? So just reaches it on its one tangent point.
And what are the two?
This is most people.
Okay, most people.
And this is its own circle where there is no overlap.
Zero overlap. They don't touch at all.
Yep.
Okay.
And this circle is Hawaiians. Because they think you dress like a bitch.
Well, dude.
And they think I am the man. And this is what I've learned. And this whole time, dude, and you've never been, so you don't know.
I don't know.
And I have been now, and I realize that I have just been Hawaiian chic this whole time, and I didn't know enough to tell you how dumb you have been sounding for 30 some odd years.
Well, hold on.
But now I get to be like, oh, you're an idiot, and I actually have a people, and they love me.
Why? Well, first of all, I'm super happy for you.
Yeah, you should be. I'm happy for myself.
Second of all, how do you know that they think I dress like a bitch? Like, is it?
I'll tell you I did.
Is it possible that they're just like, oh, I love your like? What? And also, let me guess, is this just beach bum?
So Dan, I
don't want to get lost here. Like, is there a chance they just like your beach bum vibe, but they don't think I look like a bitch? Like, why am I a bitch in this situation?
Because, dude, everybody, if you even thought about walking down Waikiki Beach in anything that you own, you would literally be thrown into the Pacific. I walked around, Dan.
Sounds like a hostile
and people
place.
were literally what is this? Everybody was doing this, obviously. What's
Shaka.
this? That's called the shaka.
Yeah, the shaka.
Everybody is shakaing me and then telling me that they love everything I'm wearing and they want it. It's not like, dude, it's not just like I fit in. They weren't just like, oh, wow, you dress like us. They were like, you dress like the best of us. Can I actually buy your clothes off your body? That's how good your taste is. Obviously, you get the tone of our style, but your taste within our tone is so elite that I want to buy it.
Do you think that you're possibly exaggerating?
No. I think that happened up to 1,500 times in 1 week.
Now, here's the thing. I am genuinely happy for you. Although you have made me think that all Hawaiians will hate me, which is rattling. Like,
yeah,
part of
I'm
me,
sorry.
Part of me doesn't want to go to Hawaii.
Can't.
I don't want to go to Hawaii now.
Or borrow my clothes. You can go and borrow my clothes.
So, like, genuinely, give me one anecdote where actually someone, because I believe you're not making up the fact that someone wanted to buy an article of your clothing off your back. So give me one anecdote where that actually happened.
Dude, okay. I was at the Macadamia Nut Company. Macadamia nuts everywhere in Hawaii, not native to Hawaii. I found that out. They're native to Australia, but they grow well in Hawaii too.
Okay. What's the company called?
The Macadamia Nut Company.
It's literally like they got in so early and so deep that they got to just go. It's like a dairy farmer going, we're the dairy milk company.
It's like orange juice.
Yeah. Like their brand is called Orange Juice.
Yeah, boom.
Okay. So it's called the Macadamia Nut Company.
Boom. I was in there buying nuts, and the woman, who was an older woman, behind the counter.
Congratulations, dude! You had a Hawaiian grandma.
No,
you look
dude.
really handsome today.
Wait. And she,
oh, son, you look so handsome. I love that shirt on you.
She goes. Well, she thought I was local. There's a local discount, so she tried to give it to me. Which is fucking bang, dude. Look at this, bang, bang.
Yeah, that's a flex.
And because I'm a man of honor, I said, no, I'm from Maine. I'll pay full price. I'm from Maine.
Okay.
And she goes, oh my God, you're from Maine? You look like you born and raised here. And I go, I know. I've always felt like I should have been from here. And then she goes, and your shirt, I had a tank on. She goes, and your shirt is incredible. And I was like, thank you.
Okay.
And then, dude, there's a younger guy there.
Oh, what tank? Like, do I know the tank?
You do know the tank. It's a Ninja Turtles tank. More specifically. Hold on.
You fucking.
More specifically.
Hold on. You are a fucking 37-year-old man, and you go on a vacation to Hawaii, and you're walking around with a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles tank top on, and you're bragging to me about the locals thinking you have great fucking style.
More specifically, it was a Donatello tank, which is a statement, right? Because everybody else wants their fucking Leo tanks and their Ralph tanks.
Yeah, you are
and
waving a
tanks.
specific flag.
I am in a purple Donatello tank, and the woman, Dan, says to me, and she goes, this was also a flex, she goes, that my son, Donatello is my son's favorite turtle. And I go, he's my favorite turtle, too. And she goes, oh, my son's 37. And I go, so am I. And she goes, no. Couldn't believe it. Because I think the sun kind of weathers you there. So I think she was like,
no
you couldn't
doubt.
be 37.
No doubt.
And I go, oh, yeah. It's my guy, Donnie. And then a guy working there, I think, he was behind the counter, but he wasn't really doing anything.
Okay.
He goes...
Was it her son?
Yeah. How old are you? He goes, he shakas me, dude. He hits shaka.
Oh, my God.
And then, because he didn't know, he heard
Yeah.
the conversation. He turns around and goes, oh, shaka. And then goes, that shirt is sick, dude. So sick. I think he hit it twice. And
Dude,
then,
this is her son.
and then I think he was like, he goes, where'd you get that? And I'm like, Amazon. And he goes, I want that. Dude, I want that shirt. And I go, well, hold on. And start to take it off. Everybody dies in line.
Yeah, good move. Good move.
And then, dude, that was it. And then I kept it. But then both of them wanted to buy my shirt off me.
Well, I don't think the woman wanted to buy it.
I think she wanted to give it to her son. He was not that guy.
That actually is possibly true.
She was like, I need that shirt for my son.
I will give it to my son.
That's one of 1,500, Dan. There were 1,499 other occasions of that.
I don't know how you got anything done.
Actually, I guess 1,498 because I'm counting that as two.
Yeah, true. I don't know. You got anything done?
I really didn't. The only time I got stuff done was when I went on hikes, and that's when everyone ignored me because I was just wearing like my gym shorts and gym shirts.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, "You are a non-local bitch."
Yeah.
Which is why that's how I know that you will be called a bitch, because the only style that we have that's even remotely similar is when we're exercising.
Dude, this is bad for me. I don't know if I can go to Hawaii.
How's Paris?
Paris was great. I do have one quick, maybe insensitive question. You keep saying that people thought you were a local.
Yeah.
Aren't most Hawaiian locals of Polynesian Hawaiian descent? Like
Most, Dan, this is a Venn diagram of most people. And then this is a Venn diagram of how we're called. Oh, dude, this is cool. We're called Howlies.
what? Who is we?
Okay, Dan. So here's another Venn diagram.
White people.
This is most people, and this is white Hawaiians.
White Hawaiians are Howlies.
Howlies.
So they thought you were a Howlie.
Yeah, and also Hawaiian for kid is keiki.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like eating ice cream and shave ice and like.
Yeah, so they're like, you're a keiki.
Yeah, and they were like, look at that Howlie keiki. And I was like,
dude. Man, Hawaii, you belong in Hawaii.
yes, correct.
Yeah.
And now I've never been to Paris. Tell me about Paris.
All right, quickly, I'll hit you about Paris. Here's the thing. I have several people in my life who are very divisive when it comes to Paris. Shout out Loop.
Yep.
Glue guy. Loves Paris.
Yep.
Favorite city in the world. Says it's his best. He told me a bunch of times it's the best city in the world. And I was like, dude, come on. Our boy Pierce, very unexpectedly, thinks it's the best city in the world. Then I have other friends who think it's a dump.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what to expect. So I go to Paris, was there very quickly, about 30 hours. Flew in on the Eurostar, had an unreal day, dinner, woke up, unreal morning, lunch, got the fuck out of there. I will say this. Paris is stunning.
Wow.
Stunning.
I mean, I imagine it's just historical landmarks.
Dude, it's crazy.
All you can eat.
It is
buffet.
absolutely insane.
Yeah.
It is like you walk every 15 minutes. Oh my God, there's the Arc de Triomphe. You walk. Oh, there's the Eiffel Tower. Like every.
Dude, I picture you going to take a picture of the Arc de Triomphe, and as you're backing up to make sure it all fits,
You bump into
the Louvre, and you're like, oh.
You go like this. Oh my God. Sorry. Dude, that does happen.
Yeah,
I will. And there's a couple things. One, the Louvre. I feel like this is the Da Vinci Code's fault, but the pyramid. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Of the Louvre?
I am pay, bro. I went to school with his granddaughter. He was at my
I
graduation.
feel like people think that that's the Louvre. The Louvre is like an enormous.
That's like the entrance?
No.
It's nothing.
That is in the middle of a courtyard that is glass, and you look down into the museum.
That's cool.
Like there are people, you look through it, and there's people.
Because you don't have to pay for that.
And I think that was a surprise to a lot of people.
Yeah, to me, it just surprised me.
There you go.
You just surprised me.
But there's that. The Eiffel Tower's remarkable.
Yep.
One of those things that you look at and you're like, how the fuck did someone build this?
You throw a rock at it.
I sent you a picture. True Netters listeners, you'll know. I had to chuck a rock at that thing.
Could have been in Prague.
When I went to Big Ben for the first time, I think I told you, my first knee-jerk reaction was, not that big.
Yeah.
The Eiffel Tower,
Big.
you go to and you're like, holy shit.
Big.
It is the second most stunning thing I've ever seen in my life.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you what the first is. I'm just kidding. It's the Coliseum.
Yep.
But Paris, unreal. I will say, however, stereotypes exist for a reason. Parisian people kind of mean.
Give me one anecdote.
Dude, kind of mean. The one I'll give you is Alice and I went to a sick lunch at this place called Giraffe. Unbelievable.
What a name.
Giraffe is inside a museum.
Not the Louvre.
Not the Louvre.
Thank God.
The museum opens at 8 a.m.,
Yep.
whenever. Giraffe opens at 12:30. That was when our reservation was. We walk up, and there's like a large staircase with a bunch of doors into the museum, all of which are open. There's people walking in and out of. And then there's 3 security guards very leisurely standing outside the middle doors. Like they're just kind of like chatting. But there's no ropes. There's no signs that are like entrance. There are exit signs on the inside of the doors.
Got it.
On the outside.
Yeah.
But me walking up, I can't see anything.
Of course not. Do you have x-ray vision?
No, dude, I don't. So we walk up to the stairs. We're coming from the left side. So those left-hand doors are the first ones we see. The doors are open. People are holding them open. We walk up the stairs, and a person literally holds the door open for us. They're like, go on in. It's just another tourist.
It's a mime.
We start walking through that door, and this security guard fucking loses his mind at us. Starts screaming at us in French. Like, what are you possibly doing going in that? He's waving at us like, come this way, come this way. And we're like, oh, sorry, and very peaceful.
Hold on, do you speak French?
God, no.
Could he have been going, great job, go, keep walking?
No, because he was finger wagging me and pointing down the stairs.
Okay.
Pointing around. And we're just being like, oh, sorry, pardon. And we're like, we're trying to go to Giraffe.
You speak French.
I do speak French. I lied. And he's eventually like, I know you're trying to go to Giraffe, but you don't go in this way. And he finally starts speaking English, and he explains that that's the exit. We have to come through this way. And we're like, oh, sorry. Yeah, we're just, we're going to brunch. And he's like, I know, but this is, how dare you? What were you thinking? Like, he was literally saying, what were you thinking?
Yeah,
we were
that's
like,
so crazy.
Someone held the fucking door open for me. That's what I was thinking. And eventually he like calms down, and I'm like, all right, I kind of get it. We're probably going to have to go through a metal detector.
Yeah, sure. Surely.
No, it was just a door. And like we walked through the door, and then like when we walked through, he then started like berating us for, he was like, Giraffe doesn't open till 12:30. It's 12:15.
Yeah.
And I was like, our reservation's at 12:30. Like I'm being respectful.
Yeah.
I'm punctual, sir. And he just like kept shaking his
Parisians
head.
aren't punctual. That's the thing.
Yeah.
12:30 means you show up at 1.
That was one of I will say the only downside of Paris is I did feel slightly nervous everywhere I was, because I just didn't want to do anything wrong. I was like, I don't want to offend anybody.
Your existence
I'm just
offends
like
them,
trying to be here, but otherwise stunning.
Wow, great.
Let's hit a few quick things on hot ice, starting with the Jets. Do you feel like the Jets are falling off?
They're 3-7 in their last 10. And they're not even in first. They're behind the Wild. The Stars are 4 back with a game in hand. I had said, I forget who was on, but I think it was Tomer. I had said, at this point, the Jets are 100% in my eyes already. I think they were 15-1, right, or something like that. At that point, I was like, they are firmly making playoffs, period, and probably winning the division, barring like a monster slump. 3-7 is not good, but it's not it's not what we saw the Wings go through last year, the Kings go through last year. They're on the way, but it's not even that yet, and they're in second. But it is a little concerning, I think, because the narrative I felt like all year, or for the first 16 games of the year, was this is what happens when the Jets are healthy. It's been health this whole time. It's because people have been hurt. We didn't have Morrissey. We didn't have Kyle Connor. When we're healthy, this is the team. And obviously, they didn't think they were going to go 70-12. But the narrative was like, when the Jets are healthy, we can't lose. And I'm like, guess you're healthy and you're losing. And I still think they have very good players. We made a joke on Thanksgiving about like the Jets being, I can't remember, stuffing, I think. And people were like, this narrative that the Jets don't have stars is true. And it is. It was a Thanksgiving joke.
Yeah.
They have stars. But I don't know, just something about them doesn't terrify me.
I hear that.
Other teams do.
I totally hear that. I like this team. I think you're so spot on with the lack of terrifying nature. And, they're not, their last couple games, 4-1 loss to the Blues, 3-1 loss to the Stars. Let me get to November. 4-3, 4-1, 4-1, 5-0, 4-1. Like it's not like they're losing super tight ones.
No.
Like they're getting beat by 2, 3, 4 goals.
And
they're not
up a lot, and they're not scoring.
They're not scoring. So I have two things. You just mentioned it. Like you're not going to go 70-12.
Yeah.
I'm seeing this a ton on Hockey Talk lately, and when we talk to fans. Dude, what happened? What happened to fans not being able to deal with losses?
Yeah.
Rangers fans right now are fucking losing their minds. And I think that's twofold. On one hand, I don't want to get off the Jets. I think that there are issues with the New York Rangers, even when they started the season through their first 10, 15 games very hot, where I think real Rangers fans are like, we're not that good, though.
Yeah.
And I think there's a reason we haven't really talked about them. Like, this is the least we've talked about the Rangers ever, right? And I think it's because we are kind of like, whatever, dude. I don't think that they are really a juggernaut here. And now we're seeing a lot of the cracks. With this Jets team, I don't think there's cause for concern. 7-3 is not nothing. It's not like you lost 3 straight and people are like, what the fuck? Like, you've lost 7 of 10. That's not good. But I am also a bit like, dude, relax. Like, you're still in second in your division, which is elite. You have 3 sick teams in that division. Everyone calm down. But it is like we keep saying, if this stretch of 10 form continues for another stretch of 10 form back to back, then you are like, oh, that's bad. Like you're now probably in 3rd or 4th in your division. So it's something, I think you said it perfectly. Keep an eye on it. Yeah. What do the next 10 games look like? But so many of these fan bases have completely lost any sense of patience or acceptance of the fact that skids happen. It's 82 fucking game season. Yeah, your healthy guys are playing, but doesn't mean they're fully healthy. I'm sure tons of these guys have crazy knocks right now that they're playing through. Yeah. I do think the thing that worries me with the Jets, and we saw it last year in the playoffs, I think they ride Hellebuck too hard.
Yeah, yeah.
You see these teams that have success with tandem, and I think we've talked a lot, you especially, about does the tandem work in the playoffs? I still think abso-fucking-lutely not. It does not work. So I don't want you to do that, but I do want Hellebuck to play like 45 games, 48 games, and see if you guys can do this.
Yeah, he'll play more than that, but I hear you on like a low 50 maybe.
Yeah, play 50. Play 50, 52 games.
Yep.
And I think it will be better for that team's success. But as far as Jets, I am not worried.
I'm only worried in that I'm like, the Wild are better than you.
Great transition. I think the Wild are fucking sick.
Did you see Zuccarello's injury? You were in London.
So I did see it.
Dude, I was about to say, they need health, and then he just got moved to long-term IR, which I think was expected.
Yeah.
Ruptured testicle. After blocking a shot. Dude, so here's my take on it, Dan. And it was funny because Foligno and a bunch of the boys were like, it's funny now because he's okay. Because there was a stretch they said that they were like, when he got rushed out, they're like, oh, he's going to lose a nut. Which, by the way, would you put
I would.
Fake nut in there?
Get a fake nut?
Yeah.
100%.
Just for the aesthetics.
I think I would put one in there, and I think I would make it a squeaky toy or have a bell in it.
Bell would be too annoying. Squeaky toy would be great. Squeaky toy would be phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
It would be, not only would it be funny,
but it would be a gamble. Because if I'm talking to my partner and I'm like, squeeze my nut.
Yep.
What if she picks the wrong one?
Oh, true. Also,
but it would be funny if I did it. Like I reached down there.
You would have it to play, and I just think it would add to the humor every time you accidentally got hit there. Like a dog steps on you on the couch, or like someone tosses a ball, and you get drilled, and then it's like,
dude, it would. It would influence your friends to be like this. We got to hit Dan in the nuts. It might squeak.
Because, dude, as you just double over, and it's like,
it goes squeaky. As I'm like,
dude, I actually might once I have kids.
How about this? I
might have a ball removed intentionally.
You're right. A bell would be annoying.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Think about when you got your keys like hanging out of your pocket and they're jingling. Eventually you're like, all right, fucking stop. You're right. That would be annoying. What if we put a remote controlled audio element in there? Like a goal
Bluetooth.
horn.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Bluetooth would be kind of sick. But I think like a goal horn would be funny. And every night someone else in the friend group gets it.
Yeah.
I'm like, you get to hit the goal horn whenever you want.
It would all, well, no, that's too graphic. It's too graphic. Kid show.
Yeah, but kid show. This is a kid show. Relax. We all know what you're thinking.
Count it, dude.
Whenever you want, you just hit play and it goes dun 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 dun.
Oh my god, dude, that's great.
So the Wild are legit.
But wait, one thought: his cup was significantly dented. They said,
yeah,
and if this is attention, Wild fans, get this on the message boards. Do what you got to do. I think the dented cup should be their player of the game thing moving forward.
Oh,
get it cleaned, maybe even painted or something. But like, who our player of the game gets Zook's dented cup?
That's really cool.
Because there's always a thing
that is really cool. I love that. I really love that. What did you think about the Jiricek trade? They made a good move from Columbus for David Jiricek, high draft pick. But they remember last year when Vancouver traded for Zadorov?
Yeah.
And it was obviously they didn't win the cup, but it was just like we were looking at a team that was surging, doing well, and then they bring in a big, great defenseman who was playing great, And Jurček, 21 years old, big boy, D-man. I love the move. Like, I think the Wild are very much like, we aren't fucking around.
No, they are here. They're ready to rock, dude.
Yeah. I'll absolutely love to see it. Moving on to the Preds, next team that's struggling.
So, something's fishy, Dan.
Dude, I'm hitting the alarm bells here.
Yep.
This is. I was about to say I'm contradicting myself what I just said about the Jets, but that's not the case because this team has just been brutal the whole time. They play the Leafs tonight on the road. They've lost 3 straight games in OT, Flyers, Lightning, and the Wild. Dude, we're too deep. We're a third of the way through the season, and this team stinks. And you know what's tough is, remember last year when you kept defending the Penguins and you were like, they're not bad. Like they're scoring. It's, it's this, it's that, blah, blah, blah. The Preds aren't bad, but they are playing poorly. And everyone keeps saying, like, is there a chance that we get a U2 show cancellation here and all of a sudden they rip off 10 straight wins and they're in a wild card spot and then they find their form? There are too many players on this team that are that good that I'm like, yeah, that could happen.
Yep.
However, in my mind, if you are Trotz, you're in save your job mode as far as all the moves that you've made.
Yeah.
And last year you weren't playing that great, but then you went on that run and you make it into the playoffs. Good for you. But then you get eliminated. Now you make all these moves again, and it's a disaster so far.
They have the least amount of goals scored in the league.
Terrible.
58 behind the Ducks at 60 and the Sharks at 62.
Terrible.
Or excuse me, the Hawks.
You traded Askarov. Like, there's just a lot of moves have been made by Trotz. And I am like, if I'm him, I'm in save my job mode. And by the way, this isn't we got to make a trade for someone. This is I'm smashing the fire sale button if in the next 15 games, I'm only giving them 15.
Yeah.
If in the next 15 games, in those 15, you are sub 500.
Boom. Well, and if you are, your season is over. So are the trades to try to save this season, or are the trades to
save the future?
Save the future.
100%. I would fucking blow it up, dude. Yeah. I would move significant people, and I'd be like, this is an absolute
more specifically,
nightmare.
Dan. They play tonight, but the last 3 games they've lost 3-2 every time in overtime. So if they lose 3-2 in overtime tonight, then something is broken.
Oh yeah,
and we need to investigate the simulation.
100%.
That is the league.
So here's my question for you. I want to stay in the Central, talk about the one team that we haven't really in Dallas.
Okay.
Where are you at on Dallas? They are 4 points back with a game in hand from the Jets or from the Wild?
From the Jets.
From the Jets.
Yep. I think yeah.
So Sagan just put on long-term IR.
Yeah.
And him, Marchment, and Dutchy were playing great together.
Dude. Sag's out a minute, bro.
A long time.
Yeah.
I think we're in Mark Stone territory with him. It's like, come back for playoffs.
Yeah, 4 to 6 months, dude. Like, he might be done.
If you are the Stars, are you making a big move? Because our boy Cam Robinson, shout out Cam, I don't know if he's going rumor boys on us here, but he just released a video saying that he's got a little birdie in his ear saying that Dallas is trying to get Malkin.
Dude, we've been saying those Penguins core needs to get gone. I mean, Penguins won 4 straight, by the way. The Penguins core needs to get gone immediately. Yes, I guarantee Dallas makes a move. I don't know if they'll do it right now. Like, maybe they're going to assess, see the deadline, calls people up. They're so deep. That's one of the luxuries of being Dallas. They're so insanely deep. And I can't remember exactly where we had them in the in the predictions thing, but they are fine, dude. Like, they know what they are. They can finish third. They can finish wild card, and they're like, it's all about playoffs for us. Let's make a good run. They don't give a fuck. So I actually bet they'd wait before to see how long Sagan goes. Yeah. Right? Like, let's take 2 months, see if Sagan's tracking towards 4 months, and we're going to get him back, and we're still winning. If they start cratering, or if Sagan looks like I'm done for sure, maybe they make a move sooner. They will make a move. Something will happen for this Dallas team. But I don't think they are freaking out, to be honest.
Interesting. I think you're right. I don't think that they're freaking out. I do think that I think the Sagan loss is big.
Yeah.
That's so much of their identity,
year.
right?
Yeah.
Their depth and how well they're playing. So I would be shocked if they don't try to do something. One thing I want to bring up, we talk about how they have guys that pop up, like Wyatt Johnson pops up, Stankoven pops up, Marchman pops up, and you're just like, Jesus fucking Christ, does this team know how to draft? They've got a guy. I don't know if you're aware of this, but Antonio, I think it's Stranges. His last name is Stranges, but I think it's Stranges.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, U.S. kid, plays for London Knights. Look up his stats in London. I believe he had 83 points in like 45 games in his last year in London. This fucking kid is a human highlight reel in the OHL, and I'm pretty certain he was playing alongside Evangelista, and they were just lighting the world on fire there. And he is a 3rd or 4th round pick, and ho-hum, wouldn't you know it, CP, he's playing for the Texas Stars right now in the AHL, 15 points in 15 games.
16 and 16.
16 and 16. There you go. Just like Stankoven. He's just like, was out of control on fire in the OHL, gets up to the AHL, gets his feet wet, gets up to speed, and then bang. This year, point per game guy.
Amazing.
And that is a dude that I look at as, okay,
Get him up.
Sagan's out. Do you bring him up, or do you use a third? Was he a 3rd round pick?
I'll find out.
Like, do you use that 3rd round pick capital, who's point per game, who is a highlight reel in the OHL?
4th round.
4th round pick, yeah. And trade him for, use him as.
Trade him.
Well, you think about, like, what would it take to get Malkin, right?
Oh, I see. Yeah.
And it's so funny. People talk about that.
I'd rather this kid, though.
You think so?
It might be tough. Gino's so nasty, but
that is the thing, man. People talk about it. We talk about the Sid thing. People are like, what would it take to get Sid? Evgeny Malkin has 6 goals and 18 assists, 24 points in 27 games, minus 11. Mm-hmm. He's obviously not the Gino he once was. He's 38 years old. There are people being like, let's talk about Dallas. Is that going to cost Harley? Is it going to cost Stankoven? Is it going to cost Wyatt Johnson? And to that, I'm like, are you fucking insane?
Yeah,
right? Okay, you're with me on that, right?
Bro.
And I think it would be, if it's Sid, different story. Mm-hmm. If it's Malkin, who I think is probably more on the, I got my 3 cups, dude, I'm chilling, than Sid is.
Yep.
He's 38 years old. He's definitely not playing at the level that Crosby is, but he's still playing a great level of hockey. But if you're trading for Malkin and Dubas is like, I want your Wyatt Johnsons, your Thomas Harleys, your Logan, I would be like, I would literally hang up.
Yeah, and I'd be like, you are fired, dude.
I'd be like, are you fucking crazy, dude? Like, I'll give you Stranges and a 1st.
No, dude.
He's got Gina's probably, especially if we're talking deadline, that's got to be worth the 1st, right?
But that's it. You can have.
But maybe at the same time, it's like the injured Patrick Kane. Like, what the fuck did the Rangers pay for him? Jack shit, like a 3rd round fucking pick.
Yeah. Exactly.
So at the same time, like, maybe not. Maybe I'm like, here's Stranges and a 2nd,
or here's a 1st and some prospect no one's ever heard of.
Yeah. So I want to keep eyes on that. Dallas has now become a huge. You've lost Tyler Seguin. What do you do? Because this team's. How many times have we talked about it? I want to see them in the cup. They need to be going. We need to win a cup or else. Talking about another team that's surging, probably cup hunting. Washington Capitals, specifically Ovi. This fucking guy skating around the ice with a broken leg 2 weeks after the injury.
PLD said a funny thing. He was like, he's doesn't make sense, dude. Like, it's just. He's out there yucking it up with the boys. He broke his leg 2 weeks ago.
He's so fake life. It's unbelievable.
He will be back on the front end of it, it looks like. And they said, they were like, it's not going to change any timelines. Like, what we said is what we said. But I'm more concerned, Dan, that Bill Gates warned us about the rise of the machines years ago.
You know I'm big on that, dude. You don't fucking agree.
I like the cars. I don't want the androids.
Wags. I need you to input. I need your input on this. I need you to weigh in. CP and I having a discussion the other day talking about the machine war. The fact that Bill Gates is one of these guys who says, do not invest too much into AI. They will eventually kill the human race, which I agree with.
Me too.
I'm like, we got to chill. Boston Dynamics, cut the shit with all of these robots. CP and I are walking down the street the other day, and I think it's kind of West Coasty, but if you're unfamiliar with Waymo,
Yeah,
Waymo
well, they're
is
in Texas, big time. Too.
big time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not West Coast.
Hell no, sir.
Yeah, the South and West Coast. Waymo are driverless cars. And we're walking down the street the other day, and I go, "Look at that, dude." And Chris was like, "I know, it's crazy." And I was like, "It's fucking insane, dude. This is," and I referenced Bill Gates. I was like, "This is the machine war." And CP was like, "No, that's not true."
Have you ever been inside of one?
No,
I want to so bad.
I do too. And
I applied.
I think they freak me out, but I'm going to say this. I can't believe that you don't think that a driverless car is part of the machine war movement.
No, dude.
What side are you on?
Because I do
think
think
it
that
is. Have you ever seen that video of there was a cop trying to pull the car over, and he didn't know that it was the Waymo car, and the Waymo car kept trying to go around the cop every time he stopped him. So they don't even
respect
like
authority.
Yeah, so they're already
Look at that, dude. They're already pushing back.
Yeah, but I can beat a car.
Are you sure, dude?
Yeah, I can
here's a scenario for you, Chris. You're walking down the street, and that Waymo decides that's a human. I'm rising up against it, and it fucking plows you over.
Yeah, I go like this. I stand right in front of a brick wall, and I go, "Ooh!"
But
Don't
you don't.
hit me.
But you don't know it's coming.
And the Waymo goes, and then I go pump right, pump left, because he thinks I was doing a one fake.
Wow.
I pump right again, dive. He goes into the brick wall, car dead.
Okay, here's a scenario. That driverless car that is clearly running with a operating system
Yep.
crunches some numbers in real time and realizes it knows exactly what you're going to do. You pump that way, it doesn't even move, and you pump right back in because it knew where you're going to be.
Okay, watch this. I put
I don't want to hear it. Hey, listen. I trust that you've got an answer for everything.
I put a picture of a painting of a person on the wall, and then I hold a baby, or any other person but a baby, and the car knows it has no choice but to save as many lives as possible. So I move, hold the baby up.
You're telling me you think this driverless car doesn't know the difference between a picture and you?
No, dude. Their cameras. I don't paint it, but I get someone sick.
Why wouldn't you get like a dummy?
Okay, I'll get a dummy. Boom. I
You'll
jump
get a
over,
mannequin.
hold the baby up, and then it goes 2 lives, 1 life.
Hits
the mannequin.
I just think in this scenario you shouldn't have picked a baby. Why did you involve a baby?
Because
I
can't lift wags, dude. I can lift a baby.
You could lift a small person. Get Lupica in here. You can pick Loops up. He's cute as hell.
I'll get Loops.
Yeah. Then you're not killing a baby, maybe.
Definitely not. Boom. Car crashes into wall.
All right. Go. Continue with the machine war issue, because we're talking about one right now.
I'm concerned that Skynet exists already in Russia.
Yeah.
And Ovi, everyone's like, his bone's healed. And I'm like, is it a bone?
Or did he just go back to the shop and they put in a new piece of metal?
Broad titanium. And I just want pictures of the surgery. I don't even think there was a surgery, but I want his leg cut open. Cut his leg open.
Yeah, I need a T2 Judgment Day scene where someone pulls out a knife and literally skins him alive and pulls it off so I can see his metal exoskeleton.
Is there an asterisk on the goal record if you find out he's a bot?
100%, dude. I hate to say it, but 100%. How could we possibly argue that? If it turns out that Ovi has been what model is Arnold?
T2.
A T1000?
Yeah, that's the movie. Fuck, I don't know. No, I don't think so. I think the bad guy's a T1000.
No. Yeah,
bro.
I don't think so. Yeah, T1000 is that guy. Yeah. So he's like a T500?
Dude, he's like an iPhone 3. And I'm like, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah. Well, listen, if he is any form of anything, then yeah. I think there's an asterisk.
Yeah, which is fine.
It is what it is. But the fact that this guy is already fucking skating around. Man, we talked about like what injury did we want that to be?
Yeah.
And obviously this specific broken bone is way better than a ligament. Mm-hmm. I think I was holding up maybe it's a ligament strain and it's like 1 week, dude.
Yeah.
And you're back. But even then you don't want the ligament damaged at all. So all things considered, you never want someone to break a bone, but like the guy's skating already. Are you fucking kidding me? It's unbelievable. Sticking on injuries, Hronik out 8 weeks, lower body injury, no surgery. Second on the team behind Quinn in ice time. Do you think this is okay, Vancouver, we got to make something happen? And then I want that to open to the door to a much larger Vancouver Canucks discussion.
I don't think they make any big moves because it's not that long, and they're doing fine. What are they in second?
I believe so.
I think so too. I'm checking right now. They are in third, game in hand behind the Kings. I do wonder, you said this when they signed him, that's Quinner's boy, allows Quinn to play how he wants to play.
Yep.
I do think you might see an impact on that. Not the power play. Like, Quinn's going to be out there on the power play doing his thing. He'll get all those power play points that he was going to have. But just his freedom 5-on-5.
Yeah.
Whoever they put him with, I think he's going to go, I feel more responsibility to make sure I'm not taking reckless chances that I was comfortable making with Rowan back there. And I'm not saying, like, oh, Quinn's bad now. But I'm like, oh, I just think you're going to – and I hope maybe not. Maybe he's just the fucking man, which he is, and he'll score at the exact same rate. But right now he's like 1 or 2 points off Kale or something. And 2 months from now, I could see that being a bigger gap.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think you're totally spot on. Vancouver's in a weird spot where we still haven't seen Demko, right? And Hronek going out is tough. You don't necessarily need to call anyone up significantly. Like, there could be a taxi squad situation here. But you do wonder, like, okay, do we have to make a move here? But on that topic, this is the door I want to open. It's been long enough now where I think we have to discuss the situation with JT Miller.
Yeah.
However, the thing that I think has been talked about is that it is well documented that it sounds like JT and Pettersson don't get along that well. And JT is now out for personal reasons, taking time off. Do you think we have officially hit the point with the Vancouver Canucks where these two guys cannot be on the same team?
I thought we were there last year.
I would agree.
Then they were like, everybody was back in. We're doing it. We're running it back.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, clearly they're fine.
Yeah.
What a bad miscalculation if they aren't fine, because now you have a cup talented team that you gotta make changes to and hope you get a 1-for-1 swap, which is possible. Huberdeau hasn't quite lived up to his end of the bargain, but you hope for like a Huberdeau-Kachuk deal where you're like, hey, can we just change the scenery, 2 big stars? But that's a risk, dude. But you have to do that if the team internally is falling apart.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying if that's true, you have to make a move. And that sucks.
So here is what's interesting. You're 100% right with everything you just said, in my opinion. It does feel like a crazy miscalculation. Like, how did you not discuss with them so in depth?
When everybody was talking about that.
Yeah, like everyone knows about this, guys. This is not a secret. Can you two play together? I personally do not think that they can. Now, JT Miller is under contract until 2030.
Okay.
Elias Pettersson is under contract until 2032.
Yeah.
On the one hand, that's tough. On the other hand, that's great because they have a ton of leverage. Mm-hmm. It is not a situation like Matthew Tkachuk where Tkachuk was like, yo, dude, I'm not signing. He was RFA, so like make a deal. That gave them a little bit of leverage, but like, is what it is. The fact that these guys are locked under contract, both playing very well, is pretty huge. JT is 31. I think at least 4 solid years of this prime left in him. PD's 26. Now here's the rub, CP. JT has a no-move clause.
Uh-huh.
PD does as well. That doesn't kick in until 2025, 26.
So he could go now.
Well, the reality is, if there is an offer that's too good to be true, do you move Pettersson?
It's just so insane, dude.
It's so insane, especially when he is playing as well as he is. I believe with his performance last night, he just got up to point per game on the season.
And here's the thing I don't know, because, well, here's the thing I don't know.
He is 23 and 24.
Does everybody else like Petey in the locker room? You know what I mean? Is it a thing where JT and PD butt heads, but everyone else goes, PD's the man. I got no issue with him. Because JT, a lot of it overblown, is like, you got some rough edges, you know? So if everybody else likes PD, then I don't think you can trade away your 26-year-old star
Who has had 139 goals, 102 points, 34 goals, 89 points, and now this year he has 7-16 for 23 and 24.
You just can't trade him away because JT Miller, who is very good, doesn't like him.
Yeah.
Because PD's 26. If everyone else goes, PD's weird as hell. JT's the only one that fucking freaks out about it.
Yeah.
But no one hangs out with him.
Which is all, by
no
the way,
one went to his birthday
speculation.
party.
We're just, yeah.
Then
to his birthday party, yeah.
Then maybe.
Yeah.
But I just don't know. I don't know any of that.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's ultimately the only world where I could see myself as a fan going, okay, if you trade PD is if you go, we're trading PD for, hold on, let me just see what his cap hit is. PD is 11.6. If you go, we're trading Elias Pettersson to the Toronto Maple Leafs for William Nylander, then I'm like, okay, like you're trading an all-star for an all-star.
Yeah.
Who's like roughly the same age, same point production, same cap hit. Then I would be like, okay, fine. Seems weird, but fine.
Yeah.
It would take a miracle for another team to have a player of this caliber that they're like, shit's just not working here, man. Like we gotta move on. So who knows?
Yep.
But this situation is officially fascinating to me.
Yeah.
And I also do want to say, hope everything's okay with JT. We don't know what's the situation, but I do believe that these two people cannot be on the same team anymore. And now with the Hronek injury, it does feel like, fuck me, like Vancouver might have to pull the trigger on something big here.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy.
Got to talk to you guys really quickly about our unbelievable deal with BetMGM. I need you to listen to me very, very closely. Go to BetMGM and download the app, okay? And then use promo code NETTERS when you log in, and you're going to get this epic opportunity. You can place a bet on anything. And I'm firing right now, to be honest with you. I'm playing with the dice. I'm betting on hockey. Football playoffs are right around the corner. NBA's heating up. There's a lot of action to get involved with. So everything you do, you can bet from $5 up to $1,500. And if you win, great job. That's a great bet, and maybe hit me with that bet next time so I can tell you. And if you lose, I don't want to tell you, but the good news is BetMGM will put that money back into your account in bonus bets. Okay, so then you can just bet again, and then maybe you'll win that one, and then I'll tail that one, and then we're both laughing all the way to the bank. So don't miss out on this opportunity. Use promo code NETTERS, that's NETTERS. Go check it out right now. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY for New York. Call 1-800-327-5050 for Massachusetts. 21 plus only. Please gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP for Arizona, 1-800-BETS-OFF for Iowa, 1-800-981-0023 for Puerto Rico. First bet offer for new customers only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. See BetMGM.com for terms. U.S. promotional offers not available in New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico.
Babes, we've got huge news. We've got great news. The year 2025 is the year about having a good time. We've got amazing news for you because we are giving away a year's worth of free THC and Delta 9 products, as well as Almost Friday merch and a unique Almost Friday experience. All you have to do is be 21 years or older, and you have to click the link that's in our description, sign up to enter. You're going to answer 2 or 3 questions about how you like to get banged up on the weekend. We all love it. It's an absolute blast. This is the easiest giveaway of all time. And like we said, you're getting free stuff. You're getting free THC and Delta 9 products, as well as all this other cool stuff. All you got to do is talk to us about how you like to party. The link's right there. You're going to click it. You're going to let us know what your best way to hang out on the weekend, have a fun time, get a little tuned up, and enjoy yourself. It's what we like talking about in general. It's all we do with our friends. So just click that link and do it with us. This year is all about cruising, having a blast, and just kicking back with the fellas and the friends. Easiest thing you've ever done. So enter right now. Again, 21 years or older to enter. You're going to answer a couple of those questions, and we are going to be kicking it all year long with these amazing products. We'll see you there.
Taking a quick time out to talk to you guys about Bauer Hockey and specifically the Twitch twig. I know you all know that I got one. You need to get yours. It is that much of a game changer. They've got this Twitch taper technology, and it's affecting the loading and the recoil. You know when you're in the pro shop and we all get the stick? I'm a lefty, but we all get the stick and you're leaning on it, and it's it's like the coolest thing to do with a hockey stick. This thing snaps back so fast. Dan was standing in front of me, and I went like this, and it spanked him. It was going so hard. It's absolutely incredible what it does to your shot. Okay. Also, there's boron fiber material in this thing, and I don't even know what boron is. Chlorophyll, more like borophyll. No. Boron fiber material. This thing is so light. It's 345 grams. Are you kidding me? When I'm stick handling, it's like air. Do a toe drag in midair. Do it right now. That's how light it feels when you're actually holding the Twitch. It's unbelievable. The bottom of the shaft is rounded, so you have extra protection, so you know you're not going to bust this thing up the first game right after you bought yourself a new treat. It's going to be safe. And the blade has this stiff core, so there's just so much pop in the shot. It's insane. The goalies on my beer league team have been chirping my shot for seasons, and I got the Twitch, and they were like, have you been hitting the gym? And I was like, no, I've been hitting the Twitch, pal. That's all it takes. It's that cool. It's that good. So go to Bauer.com. Check out everything they've got. They've got the incredible training stuff, as you guys know. I've got the digital reactor dangler and all that great stuff to work on my game. But the Twitch, man, the Twitch is revolutionary. So go to Bauer.com and give one a try.
Stop what you're doing and listen to me right now. You're probably hungry and you probably need a snack, and there's no better snack in the game right now than Chomps. It is a no-brainer. Here's the deal, folks. I'm a fitness guy. I'm a health guy. Everyone knows that about me. If you like Empty Netters, you've seen me on the Instagram story all the time doing my workouts while also taking breaks to talk to all of you about what's going on in the NHL. And here's the deal. I'm a nut job when it comes to things like protein, counting my macros, having the right type of food that's going in this engine, because I like to stay in tip-top shape for all of you. And ultimately, it comes down to snacking in the middle of the day for me. How do you fill that space between meals with something that's healthy, something that has good quality ingredients and good protein? That's where Chomps comes in for me. This is not a joke. This is not a typical ad read. This is something I actually love and eat essentially every single day. These things are 100 calories, and they're 10 to 12 grams of good protein from high quality, grass-fed and finished beef. Chomps is unbelievable. They taste delicious. They have fantastic flavors, and it's genuinely one of those great snacks that gets you a good source of protein, and it takes care of my hunger. I'm in the middle of the day. I'm working. I'm grinding. I don't want to eat a bunch of, crappy snacks that are processed sugars and food and all that. There's zero sugar in this. It's just delicious protein and good beef, and I'm telling you, it fills you up. It helps you hit your macros. It helps you stay healthy and active and fueled all day long. I would not steer you wrong in this area. I'm telling you right now, it is a no-brainer. So what you're going to do, if you want more info, you're going to go to www.chomps.com/emptynetters, and you're going to be able to get yourself packs and packs and packs of Chomps all day. You see it in our studio. I'm not kidding, guys. We rip this stuff all day long. Chomps is delicious. It's good for you, and it's going to fill that tank and fuel your body anytime you need it. Before we get into Four Nations, there's something that I did want to discuss.
Okay.
And I know that everyone gets annoyed with me being a little London boy when I get back from London, but I am a London boy, so it is what it is. I threw up on our story. I was having a day. Do you know what I'm going to talk about?
I thought you were about to be like,
I puked.
I threw up.
I threw up in a pub.
A big bed.
I threw on our story while I was over in London. I was doing a little pub crawl. And I went on my rant about how pub culture in the UK is just, it's better. It's just simply better. It's just a better vibe. And I then asked the question, what in the States?
Yeah, I remember
dude,
this.
Biggest mistake of my life.
Yeah.
That
I noticed.
That got so many fucking DMs. It was unbelievable. Like legitimately, I think 800 DMs, which I love because we love talking to people, but holy smokes. I'd say Boston, Montreal, New York, and Philly got the most love. A lot of people hitting up Denver, which I was a little bit like, okay, interesting. A lot of Seattles. Toronto got some love in there, but yeah, Boston, Montreal, New York, I think were the top three. That said, there are great pubs in all those places, but again, I don't think in Boston or New York or Montreal I've actually been to one that's genuinely a UK pub.
Yeah,
and that
okay.
is understandably, how could it ever? Now I don't want to go on a rant about how much I love pub culture there, even though I do, and it's amazing. Here is the thing that I want to talk to you about. We got to start turning the volume down in bars.
On the music?
Yes.
Music, I agree. If it is a sports bar, and first of all, if it's a sports bar and the volume isn't from the game,
What the hell are you doing?
Then literally take a cartoonish thing of TNT and implode your establishment.
Sir, I will give you the permit for that. I agree.
So once we've assumed the game volume is on, then I don't mind pumping that noise, bro. And I know it's hard to talk, but it's like, it's the game, dude. I want to hear everything loud, and I'd much rather it be loud. If we're dealing with the 3 Goldilocks bears of sports bar volume, I'd much rather it be the too loud bear than the too quiet bear, and I can live with that.
I'm with you, dude.
Music, we don't have to shout.
We've got to turn it down.
Turn it down.
What
Turn
are
it
we
down.
doing? And it's like at 11, sure. Or know
it's like
what
a
you
dance
want. Yeah, if it's
party.
a dancey, clubby, of course, yes. If we're in a bar and there's anyone sitting down, eating or drinking, but sitting down with friends, leaning on tables, leaning on, the turn the music down. This might be an old person take, but dude, this is a message to the world that we're living in. Let's turn the music down a little bit in these bars.
Yeah,
Dude, it's
I'm
like
with you.
restaurants too. Like you go to like a late dinner on the weekend, some of these restaurants are like blasted. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck are we talking about here?
It's Tuesday night.
It's Tuesday night. Calm down, dude. But even if it is Friday night, Chris, like if it's 8 p.m. on a Friday night and I'm at a restaurant and I can't hear you across the table from me, what the fuck are we doing?
10 p.m. you lose your right to complain, though.
Dude,
10 p.m. on.
I'm fine with that.
8 p.m. Actually, dude, the volume of at bars should be the hour.
Oh my God, that's actually pretty good. But it's got a cap at like 3. You start at 3.
Yeah.
Even that, dude. 7 volumes high.
Well, it's 7.
No.
It's 7
It's
on a
too
Friday.
high. Stop. I like what you just did, but stop, because it's undermining the message. And I'm going to go one further. I would even say maybe turn the lights up a little bit.
Yeah, dude, you just want to be at home.
It's just crazy to me. Like when I'm like trying to read a menu and I can't hear anything, I can't hear the waiter. I also can't read the menu. I'm like, fucking Christ. But the bigger thing is the volume. We got to turn it down.
Yep.
It's just too much. All right. What we've all been waiting for, 4 Nations rosters are officially released. What we're going to do is we're going to quickly go over the teams, and then we're going to circle back to what our predicted rosters were.
Okay.
Starting with Team Finland. Forwards, Sebastian Aho, Eric Halla, Anton Lundell, Joel Armia, Rupe Hintz, Eetu Luosterainen, Alexander Barkov, Capo Kakko, Mikko Rantanen, Mikael Granlund, Patrick Laine, Toivo Teravainen, Arturi Lehkonen. On defense, Jani Hakanpää, Esa Lindell, Rasmus Ristolainen, Miro Heiskanen, Olli Mata, Huso Välimäki, Nico Mikkola, and in goal, we've got Kevin Lankinen, Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, and Jussi Saros. So looking at our roster, CP, Matthias Michelli, snubbed. And I believe that is it for forwards.
Okay. Kotkaniemi
Because we had Eli, right?
Eyes on.
Yeah.
I
Oh, wait, no.
I can't remember if it got in that document.
Nope, we've got one more. Sorry. Eli Tolvanen.
Oh, yeah. And like I said, Kotkaniemi, that's someone I had eyes on.
Yeah.
And didn't make the grade.
Yeah. Tolvanen's got 9 points, 7 goals in 26 games for Seattle. That's not so brutal. And then Yoki Haru on D didn't make the team. But then everyone else, and then for goal, we had Korpisalo sneaking back in, but did not account for Lankinen having such a good year.
Yeah, crazy.
That's all it is.
For me, I feel bad because I think we talked the least about Team Finland in the previews.
Yep.
because they're good. There's a good team, obviously, but I'm like, you're the worst team here. And I also feel like
Finns are going to be mad about that.
Well, I'm sorry, you're the worst team here.
I agree.
I also feel like their pool, and dude, for the fantasy football players out there, it's actually a dream when you just have a number of guys. You only have the number of good guys that you have slots, so there's never a decision every week. You're just like, let's play my guys.
Here's my
other
roster.
Guys are bench guys, and they blow.
Yeah.
That was Team Finland this year. Like, they were picking from, how many people made this team? 22 or some shit? They were picking from like a 23 to 24 person pool.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, yeah, just take these guys. So even the snubs, like, if I wouldn't have been, those aren't even really snubs to me. Like, the names you named, I'm like, whatever. So this is a good team, and this is about the team that everyone thought it was going to be, and I'm excited to watch them play, and that's all I have to say about that.
It's like, I think you just said it so perfectly, CP. Like, this team is great. Like, I love this team. Guys like Joel Armia is having a great, and I'm like, fuck yeah, dude, you're on this team. And then you look at the stars, like Sebastian Aho, Barkov, Lundell, Rantanen, Line being healthy again, scoring immediately. Like, I love that. Granny's having a monster year. Their defense is great. I actually think this team is scary for a tournament like this.
100%.
Like, these guys
can beat anybody.
Yes, like, these guys are guys that, like, weirdly I feel like they know how to play together.
Yeah.
There's something about, I think, when they throw on that Team Finland jersey, like, it's genuinely like the Russians. Like, they're like, there's a really cool click when it comes to this Finland team. And man, I just really love their defense too. So
potentially goalie issues. Like, Saros hasn't been as bad as their record would show because they can't score, but he hasn't been lights out.
I agree. Like, Lankinen's been good. UPL has been good. And then, Saros is like, he's probably not in the best headspace.
Dude, kind of a weird one for this tournament, Dan, considering it's round robin and then let's go, is like, I think sometimes in other tournaments, like World Championships, when you play a 7-game round robin in your group stage, you go, give all of our goalies some burn. But in this, I'm kind of like, you cannot afford to lose games in this round robin. So I'm like, Saros is playing every game, and I'm sorry. You're on the team, congrats, but like, we're going with our guy.
Agree. So you're so right. I really dig this team. I'm excited to see what they do, and that is pretty much that.
Yeah.
Moving on to Team Sweden. Forwards for Team Sweden: Victor Arvidsson, Philip Forsberg, Gustav Nyquist, Jesper Bratt, William Karlsson, Elias Pettersson, Leo Carlsson, sick, Adrian Kempe, Lucas Raymond, Joel Eriksson Ek, Elias Lindholm, Mika Zibanejad, Willie Nylander. On defense: Rasmus Andersson, Rasmus Dahlin, Victor Hedman, Jonas Brodin, Matthias Ekholm, Eric Carlson, Gustav Forsling. And in net: Jacob Markstrom, Philip Gustafsson, and Linus Ullmark. Our Team Sweden, pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. William Eklund did not make the team, which I think is tough.
Yeah,
because he has been fantastic. Fantastic for the Sharks. And then on defense, understandably, Hampus Lindholm injured, did not make the team. Brodin is in there for him, which is great. And Adam Larsson did not make the team. Goalies are the 3 goalies that we assumed. Landy, obviously not healthy. We did have Ekholm kind of sitting there on the sidelines as a guy who could pop in, and we had Brodin on the sidelines as a guy who could pop in. So Ekholm and Brodin popped in for Larson and Hampus. Hampus hurt, but Hampus was playing great. There's absolutely no planet. I would be shocked if
we didn't have OEL in there.
We do have OEL on the short list.
Okay, we didn't put him in.
We did not put him in the roster, and he did not make the team.
Good for us. Wow.
Either. Yeah, we knew it, baby. But yeah, we sniped this pretty good. Also, this is one where the guys that were kind of on the outside, I think Fabian Zetterlund could have absolutely made this team. But great team. Chris, I think this is even more so to what you were just saying of like, you got your guys, again, Hampus hurt, tough.
Yeah.
OEL's playing great for Toronto. OEL not making it, Zetterlund not making it. I think Eklund not making it. Those are guys that you're like, that's a bummer. But also, it's not like a what the fuck. I wouldn't call it an egregious snub like we're going to get to with the next 2 teams.
Agree.
But yeah, man, this is a solid lineup.
Bigger pool for me, they're picking from a bigger potential pool than Finland was. And no more, you're right, no egregious snubs, but more egregious than the Finland snubs that we've named. Eklund, good one. Backlund, even for me, just from a veteran presence, not getting on there. Flames captain, like
Definitely
bring him in. Lindholm injured, you're right. Broberg, even. The D they picked are all good, really good.
Broberg could totally be on this
I'm
team.
like, dude. Yeah. So there's a few there that I'm like, damn.
Boy, howdy, does Sweden have good defensemen.
Dan. And then
fuck me.
And stars up front. Like there are guys that are.
Who do you think is if you're doing this lineup, who is the forward odd man out?
The forward odd man out.
Right, like they have 12. You got 12 forwards who are going to play on the four lines. You got a 13th forward. Like, I'm going to be honest, Victor Arvidsson and Mika Zibanejad.
Aziba, I was going to say.
I'm a little bit like, wow, I'm surprised you made this team.
Yep. So for me, it's one of those two guys. It's one of those
Chris
two
Arvey
guys.
has 2 goals and 3 assists for 5 points in 16 games.
And like Eklund is left out. How many points does Eklund have?
Let me look up Eklund's points.
He's the top scoring Swede not on the team. I know that. Like of everyone they cut, he has the most points.
Yeah, Eki has 5 goals, 18 assists, 23 points in 27 games. Like, you're telling me Eklund isn't on this team and Victor Arvidsson is?
That's crazy. Right? So like that's not egregious. Like I think Arvidsson's good, but that's a surprising one.
Yes.
For me, if you're a Swede or rooting for the Swedes for whatever priorities you have, Gustafsson being the best goalie in the league right now you are a massive threat. Obviously, I'm U.S. biased, but I was like, this tournament is going to be cool, but it's a U.S.-Canada tournament.
I think Sweden might win this
could
tournament.
win now.
Yeah. I think Sweden might win this. Dude, also, shout out Minnesota Wild in general, but 3 guys on this team. It's pretty special. Pretty special stuff. But, yeah, man, what I really love, CP, is you got guys like Elias Pettersson's playing great hockey right now. Lucas Raymond's playing great hockey right now. Yes, Jesper Bratt is playing great hockey right now. Eriksson Ek, William Nylander, Jonas Brodin, Dahlin is obviously amazing. Anderson's playing amazing. Like, not only is this a great roster, but they've got a team of guys who are like buzzing.
Yeah.
So
No,
I'm kind of like,
it's
fuck
really
me.
legit.
Like, this team's good.
So I'm excited that's going to be. They are very in the conversation.
Absolutely. All right, next up, we've got Team Canada. Here is Canada's roster. Forwards, Sam Bennett, Seth Jarvis, Connor McDavid, Anthony Cirelli, Travis Konechny, Braden Point, Sidney Crosby, Nathan McKinnon, Sam Reinhart, Brandon Hagel, Brad Marchand, Mark Stone, Mitch Marner. Defense, Cale Makar, Colton Parayko, Shea Theodore, Josh Morrissey, Alex Pietrangelo, Devon Taves, Travis Sanheim. Goalies, Jordan Binnington, Aiden Hill, and Sam Montembeault. There are snubs here. There are surprises here.
Yep.
I think this roster is definitely an example of, like, the GM's picking this team. We're picking a team. They wanted a clear third line. They wanted a clear fourth line. They liked size. I think as we knew, I think the goalies were interesting. You know what's funny? I don't know if you saw this. Joey Decord has yet to declare.
Oh.
He can play for USA or Canada.
Yep.
And it's one of those things where, I mean, USA and Canada are both so good, but knee-jerk with a position, you'd be like, probably go USA, right? You got a better chance. This, I'm like, Joey Decord should definitely declare for Canada. 100%. He's going to be the starting goalie at the fucking Olympics.
Yep.
And that's not to say anything bad about these 3 goalies, but I do think...
But go ahead.
when you look at the way that the Swedish goalies are playing and the USA goalies are playing and the Finnish goalies, I know we said like Saros is a little bit in a tough spot, but like this is the weakest goalie group, I think. What's your big one? So do you want me to compare our roster first? Or?
Yeah. Let me see who we missed. Who did we have in that didn't make it?
Okay. We had in. Let me just look real quick. Want to double check on one. We had in Zach Hyman. Did not make it. We also had in Steve Stamkos.
Okay.
Did not make it. We also had Matt Barzal and Carter Verhaeghe. We did have Jarvie as our extra, so pumped for Jarvie that he popped in there.
Yep.
There's a lot of players here that we can talk about. The big ones on defense. Evan Bouchard did not make the team. Noah Dobson did not make the team. Vince Dunn did not make the team. And the big one, my biggest snub, which has an asterisk attached to it, Drew Doughty not being on this team.
Yeah.
I think is fucking insane.
Well, he won't be ready, eh?
I think he will be ready by the end of February. He's being activated.
Yeah,
or
true.
Not end of February, but by February he's being activated in January. Like he is going to be fine. And I don't know. I think you see there were other rosters where guys are named that are injured, and you're like, oh yeah, like you're gonna be fine.
Yep.
I just think you have to name a guy like Drew Doughty. I can confirm he made this team.
Yeah.
And then they were like, well, we can't name you because you're injured. Mm-hmm. But, it opens the door for other people, and that's great. But what are your how are you feeling about this roster?
Okay, I'm going to start at the way back. Montembeault is whatever. Like,
I think he's been great.
Me too, but my boy, Logan Thompson, deserves to be on this team. Straight up.
Lot of
Logan
Cappies
deserves
fans.
to be on this team.
Lot of Cappies fans who are like, dude, how the fuck is Logan Thompson not on
Got
this
traded
team?
to the Caps after I knew he was going to get traded, and I didn't mean to make it happen, but I did make it happen. It was my fault, but now he's reaping all the benefits because the Caps are sick, and he should be on this team.
Yep.
There's a few other goalies, but that's all I have to say about that. The goalies are bad. Everyone knew they were bad, and they are going to be bad, and that's all. On D, Bouchard, sure. Dobson for me is the big one, other than Dewey, but Dobson, I'm kind of shocked by.
Yeah.
They aren't having the best year, but he is just so good. And like, I don't want to dog anyone that made it. And obviously you'll probably know who I'm talking about, because there's 5 fucking thoroughbreds on the team on D. But, and I'm just like, and I'd be bummed for the 2 other guys if they didn't make it and Dobson did, but I'm just like, Dobson is better than you. So
yeah. I think I'm in complete agreement with you. I suppose Kale and Taves kind of come as a package deal here. I think there's an interesting element of Pietrangelo and Shea here.
Yeah.
But like Pietrangelo is just a leader of
dude,
men.
they've been sick this year too. Look at
Yes.
their stats.
Oh, I don't need to.
Yeah.
I know they've been sick. Parayko is the one for me that I was like, interesting.
Yeah.
He's huge.
Yep.
I'm sure like Kale is a puck moving defenseman. Morrissey is a puck moving defenseman. I think Shea is kind of.
Yep.
So I understand maybe wanting one more big body there. I'm so happy for Travis Sanheim.
Same. That's what I mean. I didn't mean to dog that.
No, I know that. I know that. To me, some of the Anthony Cirelli's having an amazing year.
Yeah.
He's a fucking insane player.
Yep.
I love that he's on this team. Travis Konechny is having. I am so glad that
he's the man.
Konechny is named
Yep.
to this team. I gotta say, I look at the NHL statistics, I look at the seasons, and a name for me that I am like, whoa, is Dylan Strome.
Oh, yeah.
Dylan Strome has, in my opinion, played himself onto this roster.
At the expense of Cirelli.
I'm not entirely sure who I would say, but I am surprised about him, and I'm surprised about Mark Scheifele.
Okay.
A lot of Canadiens fans being upset that Suzuki didn't make it. I hear that, but I'm also kind of like, it's tough. Scheifele and Strome, I was a bit like, whoa.
Dude, so for me, Scheifele for sure. I think it was the complete correct call about Hyman. Dismissed. And everybody was like, he's obviously making it. Dude,
no.
Dismissed.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
I think it was the complete correct call on Johnny Toedrags.
Yep, tough
one.
Stammer too.
So, and I think it was the complete correct call on Bedard. Lol at all the Bedard people.
Oh, thank
Dude,
you
lol.
so fucking much for bringing that up, dude. I thank you so fucking much, dude. We posted, we did ours in the summer.
Yep.
And we posted it, and the amount of you fucking idiots, dude. And like, this is the only time I'll be mean to you.
Yeah.
The amount of you fucking milk drinkers, dude, who were saying, how is Connor Bedard not on your roster? Are you an idiot? Think about like the roster.
It's crazy, bro.
There are some out there. Johnny Lass is like, I think it should just be best on best, and I'm like, that's what the All-Star game is, and it's not fun to watch, dude. And obviously, there's more at stake here, so I don't think people would be mailing it in. But
well, what does he mean? That would include Bedard?
well, he's just saying put the most talented people on the team, like youth,
we did.
talent, blah blah blah. And I'm
He's
like,
not
they
on
still
there.
did, and he's not on here. And dude, I tweeted out the other day, Macklin Celebrini deserves more of a look at this team than Connor Bedard does. And that is a fucking fact. And people were like, they should both be on it, and it's still Connor, blah. And I was like, first of all, neither of them will be on this team. And look at that.
Yep.
And Connor Bedard is a phenomenal player. He does not deserve to be on this roster. Excuse me. He does not belong on this roster yet.
Yeah.
And that's okay. That is okay. But to everyone that was like, you guys are nuts, dude. He's going to be on the team for optics and blah. And I'm like, wrong, dude. He's not on the team, and that was obvious.
Verhaeghe.
I don't think I fucking love Swaggy. I think he's an amazing player. I don't think
it's tough because Bennett's been so good.
Yes.
And
but
we're
again,
happy for
like
Konechny.
Carter's got 20 points, 26 games. He's a -16. Dude.
Yeah, fuck.
Like he's just not
Then I'm
playing
fine with
that
that.
well this year.
For me, dude, and there's another one like this on the USA roster. The Stammer one is kind of crazy to me. Not that he's having a great year. He obviously isn't. But I don't believe that Stammer has fallen off a cliff or anything. I think it's a national problem. It's a system fit. It's a lot of that shit. He's one of the league's greatest goal scorers of all time. And he has just been like, when has he played for Canada?
Never.
No, he must have been on that 2014 team.
2014? Are you sure?
Well, that was 10 years ago. He's 30.
No, he certainly was
He
on
was
that
26,
team.
like,
He was definitely on that team. He was in Sochi.
Yeah, so like he's done it, but he strikes me as a guy that you're like, that's fucking and this shouldn't be a what have you done in the past competition to get on this squad. But I'm like, bro, he is an absolute weapon, has an elite skill that probably very few people have. He can still play at a super high level. He scored 40 fucking goals last year. And he's Steven Stamkos. And he should be on Team Canada. Like, I don't mean to imply that he's on Sid's level, but it's like guys like that are still producing. You don't get a charity invite, but guys like that, I'm like, ooh, maybe you make the squad. It's tough looking at it. Of course,
he might not have been on this team.
Maybe he was hurt. 2014.
Yeah, I think he was.
I'm trying to think.
Yeah, he was not on this team.
So that even helps my argument where I'm like, oh, you couldn't throw Steven fucking Stamkos a bone and put him on this squad? And I know they'll be like, he's having a bad year, but I'm like...
Well, you know what's the crazy one, Chris, is there are guys that were in the initial name wave that I think some people were like, oh, I don't know if you would have picked him.
Agree.
And I actually don't think it's a lot. Like, I'm going to stand up for my guy here. There were some people who were like, I bet Canada's regretful of Brad Marchand. And I'm like, I bet they're fucking not. Brad is on fire. He's got 2 goals right now in the game against the Blackhawks. Like, they are not regretting that whatsoever. But I was surprised that Stamkos wasn't in that initial wave.
Same, and then to have him not make it.
Yes.
Like, he's got 13 and 25, which is not good, obviously. No. And Brad has, before tonight, he had 18 and 27. So it's like, it's right there.
I don't think that's right there. I think that's, like, Brad is clearly playing better.
Yep, getting now 10 goals to Stammer's 7. But I do think Stammer had, and we're going to get into this in the USA roster too, Brad is more versatile, kills penalties, all this shit, which is why I think he's part of it. But I think if this exact roster came out and Stammer was in that wing spot and not Brad, we'd be going, fuck, Brad got snubbed, bummer for Brad. But I don't think we'd be like, get the pitchforks out. This is a tragedy.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
I think based on how Steve Stamkos is playing right now and the stat lines, if those 2 names were reversed, I would be having a fit right now.
Yeah.
And rightfully so.
It's a little Ryder Cuppy. I mean, it's a lot Ryder Cuppy where you go, what's their form right now versus like, well, that's Jason Spieth. Or, Jason Spieth. Is that his fucking name? Why am I having a meltdown? Justin Thomas.
Jordan.
Thank you. I was like, Jason doesn't sound right. That you're like, that's JT. That's Jordan Spieth. Like, pick them.
Yeah.
They're fucking studs. Where I'm kind of, it's that where I'm like, yep, he's not in form right now, but he can.
But that's the difficult thing about this team, right? Like, if you dump someone for Steve Stamkos, who do you dump? Seth Jarvis, Anthony Cirelli, Sam Bennett? Like, I think people would be like, how are you dumping those
Yeah.
guys for him right now? So yeah, it's
For
tough.
the legacy pick. Tough one.
Yeah, I just think Canada and USA are too stacked to dump anyone for a legacy pick right now, frankly. Okay, moving on to USA.
Yep.
Moving on to USA. Forwards. Matt Boldy, Jack Hughes, Brock Nelson, Kyle Connor, Chris Kreider, Brady Tkachuk, Jack Eichel, Dylan Larkin, Matthew Tkachuk, Jake Gensel, Austin Matthews, Vincent Trocheck, JT Miller. Defense, Brock Faber. Fuck you, everybody.
Yep.
Noah Hannafin, Jacob Slavin, Adam Fox, Quinn Hughes, Zach Werenski, Charlie McAvoy. Goalies, Connor Hellbuck, Jake Ottinger, Jeremy Swayman. Holy fucking shit, that defense, dude.
Woo! And dude, I got some issues with it.
Here was our Team USA. The players that we listed that are not on this roster. Jason Robertson, Clayton Keller, and Brock Besser, and Patrick Kane, who you made me put in there. And I was like, I don't think Patrick Kane will be on this team.
If he was playing better, he would have been. But
Agreed. He's not playing.
Yep.
And then we had the D exactly nailed because we considered Thomas Harley, but Thomas Harley is one of these Canada USA guys, and Zach Werenski was the next name in. I am beyond disgusted with the forwards named in this group.
Dan, the Canada roster, where there's some people that obviously I just said that I'm like, oh, I might have gone differently. The Canada roster looks great.
Yep.
This roster is, I was about to say infuriating. That's wrong. But this roster is frustrating.
You could say infuriating.
When what this should have been and could
Correct.
have been. I'm pissed. Like,
Chris, I'm not exaggerating. I borderline want us to lose so I can just hold a firm finger at every single person in charge of this roster and go, sick picks, you fucking old losers.
dude, let's start in goal. Everything's perfect. And
Yeah.
I hope, just because Sway's our boy, that they do what I said Finland shouldn't do, and that they're like, everybody get a little burn. Because if they're going on just like how you playing this year, he's not going to see much time.
Yeah.
But I hope they go, everybody play, because they're all top class
Yeah.
when they're on their game. What a luxury, an embarrassment of riches in goal for the U.S.
Yeah.
D, awesome. Thrilled for Faber. There's a couple guys, Jake Sanderson having a great year, but he's like a little young. You know, I'm like, you're going to be.
I'll hear you. I'll hear
Maybe you
that.
make the Olympics though. Like, he's the type of guy where I'm glad they don't take him for this, because I'm like, you're 22, dude. Like, you're going to make the Olympic team, maybe, whatever. There's a lot of people mad about John Carlson. I hear you. I'm bummed about who, dude? Best name in the league.
Pionk. Pionk is tough.
Having a
I also
monster
we,
year.
we kind of skated by this on Canada. I feel a little bit bad for Dougie Hamilton. He's playing great.
Yes, he has picked it up lately. And Pionk, I'm putting in the same category where I'm like, you should have played your way onto this team versus like even a Hannafin, where I'm like, okay, you're very. I love Noah Hannafin. He's fucking sick. But
Yeah.
I'm like, there should be a factor of played your way on.
Yeah.
Which is what I basically wasn't arguing for Stamkos. So I understand I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth. But damn, that one hurt. He deserved it.
Yeah.
The forwards, bro.
Yeah.
I literally.
I just quickly, I want to talk about John Carlson too.
Yeah, I said that. People are pissed. Go on.
No. I just like two more sentences because I know you did say it. I just think he's man. I think it's interesting that we just named the Caps as our number one team in the league, and him and Stromer, who are really buzzing, didn't get it, and Carlson kind of felt like a legacy one that I was like, he'll slide in there.
Correct.
And ultimately Faber probably got in over him, which I'm not mad at, because Brock is, we picked him because we believe in him, and God damn it, is he unbelievable. But just John Carlson deserves his flowers. He's playing phenomenally.
Yes, he is.
Let's get into the forwards, dude, because I just there are atrocities happening that I just find
I will not stand for.
stunning. For similar reasons, dude, that you you look at certain guys like Sam Bennett, for example. Like Sam Bennett plays third, fourth line on the Panthers. So us saying Sam Bennett's going to be a third, fourth line on Team Canada is not going to upset him. He's like, yeah, no, I will be.
Yep.
There are decisions on this forward group that I will not really be able to wrap my head around. And they are, ironically, all the New York players.
Dude.
Chris Kreider, Brock Nelson, and Vincent Trocheck being on this roster is fucking mental to me. And you know, they're great players. You can look up their stats right now if you want. These are guys that are going to be role guys, I would imagine. Like, I wouldn't be surprised, frankly, if that is your fourth line.
Yeah.
And I really can't accept the season that Cole Caulfield and Tage Thompson specifically are having, and people saying, yep, nope, they don't belong on this team.
Dan, this is unacceptable.
I agree.
The Rangers are, you want to talk about form? The Rangers are in a tailspin. Kreider's having a subpar year.
He literally has 0 assists.
Trocheck is having a subpar year.
Yeah.
Like, if that team was the Jets, like the Scheifele argument where you're like, okay, he got snubbed, but the Jets are sick and he's actually playing well, by the way. This is on a team that is in a bad rut right now. Like, while we're picking this team, they're in a bad rut and these two aren't playing well.
Yeah.
You cannot be on this team. Brock Nelson, you cannot be on this team. You guys are in fucking dead last, bro. Like, what the fuck are we talking about?
Yeah.
So before you even get to the two, because that feels like the big ones, Robo we had on, he's not having a great year either. I can live with that.
Yep.
But he should be on over a Kreider or a Trocheck. I'm like,
dude,
just it's a higher skill set.
Yeah.
You know, but it's the same use case. Like, you guys are both having bad years. The Stars are better than the Rangers, and Robo has higher skill set. DeBrincat, Clayton Keller, those guys are having significantly better. Like, those guys are almost point per game guys that are young, fast, awesome goal scorers. Okay?
Yep.
Then you want to go Cole Caulfield, who leads all American NHL players in goals this year. Not on the team. Tage Thompson, fucking mutant, having a great year. 13 goals or something like that already. I do want to say,
Clayton Keller, dude. Like,
yeah, that's what I said. Kel's
Sorry. Yeah.
I don't accept the roster building of this, because it is a fucking it is a 4-game. After the round robin, is it just the top two play in the final, or is it there's seeding and they play semifinal final?
I think there's I'm actually not sure. We fucking should know that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they do. The top two teams play each other for one, and then the next two.
So it's just round robin, and then here's the final. Here's the loser
play
bracket.
for third. Yeah.
So
I think
it's or it's round robin, and then they have seeding 1 through 4, and then you go semi. So at most it's 5 games. At least it's 4 games. If you are playing 82 fucking games, then 20 something playoff games, then yes, dude, I need a couple penalty killers out there. How many fucking penalties are you going to kill in this whole tournament across 4 games? 7? 8? I don't know. Like, I doubt it's going to be that chippy of a game at 4 nations. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't understand. And yeah, like, a fucking penalty kill could lose you the championship. If you're like, oh, it was 2-2 in the third and we took a penalty, and thank fucking God I had Chris Kreider and Brock Nelson to go out there and kill the penalty. But I fucking doubt it, dude. I fucking doubt it. And to Laz's point, like, why? And actually, I'll be interested to see what Laz thinks about this, because they're Rangers.
He agrees.
But I'm like, bro, I have an idea. This is the most talent the U.S. has ever had in the NHL. I think literally ever.
Yes.
The biggest.
I don't even think that's fucking close, dude.
So I have an idea. Let's put our most talented players on the ice. Holy fuck.
Dude, it's nuts, Chris. And what pisses me off is I believe they did do that with D.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
Here's the reality. Quinn Hughes is, I think, probably the best defenseman in the NHL, and I think he's maybe better than Kale right now. I think Kale is better, but like Quinn's just playing so well. But Quinn, McAvoy, and Fox, we knew, like, we were they're obviously on this team. Zach Werenski is playing the best hockey he's ever played in his career. Noah Hannafin is playing the best hockey he's ever played in his career. Brock Faber is a young stud. And like that was an active pick over guys like Carlson. And Slavin is the rock, right? Like Slavin is arguable. I think Slavin might be behind Hedman as the best defensive defenseman in the NHL. He belongs on this team. They did it. They went like this. These are our best defensemen.
Yep.
To actively look at Tage Thompson's 13 goals, 20 points in 20 games. Look at Cole Caulfield's leading the NHL in U.S. players in goals. His best season ever so far of his career. Yeah. And just go, don't care.
Don't care, dude, because we got to kill a penalty. We might have to kill a penalty a couple times.
Don't care because we need Chris Kreider, Vincent Trocheck, and Brock Nelson. Like Vinny Trocheck, all-star last year. Hell yeah, dude. Good for you. By all accounts, one of the best locker room guys in the world. Yeah. I bet Vinny was surprised to be on this roster.
6
I bet
he's
damn
for
proud.
12 in 24 games.
Yeah, I bet he's damn proud, as he should be. But like, you're telling me that he's like, yep, I was a shoo-in? No fucking way. And I really don't know what argument you're going to make. And I know so many Islanders. I mean, I bet Rangers fans actually right now with the state of them will be like, no, neither of them deserve to be on this fucking team. There's Islanders fans out there who were already in our mentions on tweets being like, I better not hear any Brock Nelson slander. And I'm like, you're hearing it, dude.
Yeah, you deserve to hear it.
Is Brock Nelson a bad player? No, he's a fantastic player. Does Brock Nelson make sense on this roster over Tage Thompson, Cole Caulfield, Clayton Keller, Alex DeBrincat? I think abso-fucking-lutely not. You're like, people are like, yeah, we need size. You need people in front of the net. Have you taken a fucking look at Jack Eichel, Dylan Larkin, Austin Matthews, JT Miller, and Matt Boldy? Like, they don't need size, dude.
Yep.
Like, and also, you want size? Tage Thompson's 6'6", dude. Like, what the fuck? How the fuck is Tage Thompson not on this team?
And Dan, the like, because Kreider's like obviously a great power play guy, right? Put him in front of the net, all good. You're not getting power play. He is not getting power play minutes on this team.
No fucking way.
So I'm like, your literal only role is to go out occasionally on the fourth line and then kill penalties. And again, what, two a game? Like, dude. Okay, eight times in the whole tournament. I'm like, thank God we have our penalty killers.
And also, you know who's better on the power play than Chris Kreider? Tage Thompson.
And you know who isn't a fucking moron and able to kill penalties? Everyone on this roster.
Every single person on this roster. Jack
Literally
Eichel
go out. I'm like, hey, Kyle
like,
Connor, go kill a penalty. And he's like, okay. Christ. Like, it's fucking hockey, dude.
It's crazy, dude. It's absolutely crazy. Fuck. And the thing that really bothers me is there was a big conversation going into this saying that Team USA has a center problem. You've got Jack Eichel, you've got Austin Matthews, you've got Jack Hughes right there. All of those guys are centers. JT Miller also plays center. So you're like, oh, Tage, like maybe you can't take Tage as a center. But in the people I just named 3. And I'm like, Tage is a center. Put him on the fourth line, whatever.
Yep.
JT Miller can play wing. Cole Caulfield is a wing. DeBrincat's a wing. Keller's a wing. Like this was not an issue. This was so overthought, and I would have been having this heated of a discussion if any of these 3 guys made it over the guys that we're talking about, let alone all 3 of them.
Dude, yes, good point. Like I would be mad about one of these snubs, and instead it was all of them.
I'm genuinely, and like I feel bad saying it. They're all great guys. Obviously, we've got love for all these guys, Kreids especially.
Yeah,
but I'm like, dude, these 3 people being on this roster is bizarre to me.
Well,
absolutely
bizarre.
You
said it best. I think they were legitimately probably like, oh, wow. And thank you, and I'm honored, and I will give it everything I fucking got. As they always have, by the way, when they have worn USA jerseys at the junior levels and in the pros. But I'm just like, if the dude on the team is shocked to be on the team, then that and the justification of the guys picking is simply, well, they can kill a penalty. Dude, then I'm like, I think that's probably crazy.
Chris, like I can't. We talked about all the stats. In 21 games, Chris Kreider has 10 goals, 0 assists, and is a -2. How on earth do you look at that form? The fact that he's an older guy in the league on a team that is playing poor hockey right now and say that he is more valuable to this lineup than particularly Tage and Cole?
Well, Dan, he plays wing, and he goes, he goes, I have 10 goals and 0 assists in 21 games. And we're like, oh, not really a playmaker, but whatever. Yeah. And because remember, Cole started the year with no assists.
Like literally, dude, his only value is scoring goals.
Yeah, on like tip in, redirect, rebound.
And Tage and Cole both have more than him.
And Cole goes,
and frankly, better goals.
I have 16 goals, 7 assists. Like I have more goals than you. I can actually pass occasionally. I play the same position. And yeah, I'm smaller. Oh no.
It's just.
He must be so pissed, dude.
Who?
Cole.
Oh, I'm certain he is. And Tage, dude. Tage is furious. I know that. And it's the both of them, dude. I would be so fucking pissed. And I now, as a fan and a proud fucking American, who's been saying forever, watch out, Canada, we're coming. I've said I borderline want us to lose because you need to pay for your fucking sins. And now the reality is, too, if USA wins 4 nations and these 3 guys have fucking dominant tournaments, I'll be the first to go, I was wrong.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Great roster management. And like I stand by right now, I love you guys, all 3 of you guys. They just wouldn't have made my roster. And it just feels like one of those situations where you go, put your best fucking team on the ice. This is not our best team.
Period.
And it's also, don't hurt Brooks me, it's not the right team.
Yeah.
I'm genuinely telling you, it's not the right team.
Yep.
So I am disappointed. When you look at the rosters, I think those are the biggest snubs, those 2 players in particular. I think with the exception of Doughty's injury.
Yeah.
I think those 2 players are the biggest snubs, and I'm furious that of all 4 of these teams, the biggest head scratchers we have are, how the fuck are these 3 guys? Like, why is it USA?
Why is it our roster?
Why is it USA's? And you know, I just think you look online, it's pretty standard across the board. Our boy Wish was like, not choosing Tage Thompson is a fucking choice, and that is correct.
Yep.
So pretty wild stuff here by Team USA. All right, let's get into a beer league hotline. Take it away.
I always have clear tape in my bag, and every week at our game, half the boys ask to use some. I go through 2 rolls a month. Then I just buy more and the same thing happens. I asked the GM if we could raise the team dues a bit to make a tape fund and we could throw a ton of clear rolls in the puck bag so it's always there. Tape's not that expensive, but it feels unfair I'm the only one buying it. GM said it was too much of a hassle and I should just stop sharing it. But do I want to be the guy that won't let his boys use some clear? Please help.
Oh, dude. Tale as old as time, and also I have this. I'm extending it to this gentleman.
Dude.
I am you.
Yeah.
So, dude, shout out Howie's.
Yep.
My bag is stocked, baby.
Same.
I've got a pouch in my bag that is filled with clear, white, because I'm a white tape guy, but like I'm always stocked up. And everyone who's ever played hockey, definitely beer league hockey, but hockey in general, can I get some clear? How many times have you heard that?
1,000 billion trillion.
It's unbelievable, dude. Can I get some clear?
You got clear? Oh, yo, you got clear?
I hate when I have to ask, which is part of the reason I'm always stocked up. I hate going, hey, dude, can I get some clear? Anyone got any white tape? I hate being that guy. But that's a me thing.
Yeah.
I don't think it's bad to be that guy. So when people ask me for it, I'm not like, fuck you, man.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm like, yes, I'm glad I'm stocked up.
Yeah.
But if this has become such an issue for this guy on his team that he is sourcing beer league hotline, then we've got a problem.
With a real problem.
Real problem in this locker room, right?
At first I was like, this is an all-time dilemma because you cannot, he's right, you cannot say no.
Yeah.
Like literally if I said, can I get some clear? And they went, no. We would no longer be friends. And I probably would quit the team, or I would talk to the GM and say one of us goes, period.
I couldn't agree with you more on the no longer friends thing. That is I bookmark that moment in my mind and will never forget it. I'm like,
yeah.
What the fuck, dude? Did you say no to clear tape? Now, I will say this. We're not paying enough attention to the GM. Insane response from the GM. If this has become this much of a problem that this guy's like, hey, GM, first of all, I don't like the solution that the guy came to, saying, can we raise team dues? So I love the idea of clear tape going in the puck bag.
But who's paying for it then?
I think it should be like beer. Someone's on beer every week. Someone's on clear every week.
So they're like, hey, well, that was actually sick.
That was sick. I didn't even
So we
mean
go,
for that
hey,
to-
we're running low on clear, and I'm checking the spreadsheet. Dan, you're up by a blog.
Legitimately, yes. I think you go, hey, guys, I've been supplying the whole team with clear. I'm running low. I think we should rotate this. CP, you're up. Here's a link to Howie's. Buy a log.
Goes in the puck bag, and next time it's low, someone else buys a log.
I think it should have been done in a more casual way like that. So maybe that's your answer here. But the GM going, that's too much of a hassle. Are you crazy, dude? You're the GM.
You're bringing the puck back.
You've got this kid who's definitely on beer rotation duty, so he's paying for beers just like everyone else too, who's the only one supplying clear tape, and you're not going to help him out at all? Come on.
Yeah, because, dude, that's why I thought it was a dilemma, because I was like, I don't want to raise team dues, but I think that but the idea of a tape bag fired me up.
Oh, that's pro shit,
Dude, I was like,
that's
whoa.
national shit.
Like, I actually need a tape bag.
Yes. There's a stall in pro locker rooms that's filled with tape, filled with laces, filled with wax, scissors, everything.
So I actually think that needs to happen. If they won't do that,
Yeah.
and you can't say no,
I think
is there a world where you show up to every game half dressed and you're taped already?
and you're already taped.
So then they go, whoa, what's up? And you go, traffic. I had to
Yeah.
through
I was
the
late.
bottom half on at home. And then they go, you got clear? And you go, no, it's at home.
Left it at the house.
On the kitchen table. Now you're the guy that shows up half dressed, and everyone's going to make fun of you, but saving $10 a month.
I think it's too. Okay. A couple things here. One, you're right. You can't be the guy that says no. However, your hand has been forced. I think there's a world where he can, when the next person says, can I use some clear? You don't say no to him. You stand up. And you go, my hand has been forced. I have been supplying this team with clear tape for years now. None of you have stepped up to take on a part of this load for me. None of you may use my clear. You're not saying no to one person.
Yeah.
You're saying
To everybody.
this behavior will not stand any longer, team. But I think if you don't want to do that and you want to do your move, I think that's too suspicious, too early.
Yeah.
Maybe, dude, when it's time to tape the socks, you pop out of the locker room. Maybe you pop into the bathroom.
They'll still ask, dude. They'll still ask.
Well, no, you just tape, and then you come back in. You discreetly put your tape back in your bag, and someone looks around, sees that you're taped, and goes, hey, you got any clear? You go like this. No.
I'm out. Ran out.
Ran out.
Flush
Ran out.
Okay. I like it. Give it a bid.
I think that's more reasonable than showing up to every game half-dressed.
We can both
But
agree.
ultimately, I think what you do here is you next game, you respond to the email in and you go, hey, by the way, ran out of clear. I bought the last log. And pick someone, dude.
Yeah.
Pick. I think you like if I'm being honest, if this were happening to me, you would be my guinea pig.
Yeah, for sure.
Pick a nice guy who's going to be like, yep, okay, and include the link. Walk them.
Yeah.
Walk them to the
water.
Rim. Yeah.
We can both agree the only thing you do not do is become a laces guy.
Or a stick tape guy.
That's the only thing you don't.
There are people who are using stick tape on their socks willingly, and I'll never understand it. Where do you stand on black? I was about to contradict myself and say black clear tape, but black. I'm refusing to say the term sock tape because no. But where do you stand on black stretchy tape?
Yeah, electric tape, basically.
Yeah.
I
don't like
any of them.
I think if you're on the Bruins or the Kings or the Stars alternates where your socks are predominantly black, sometimes I'm like,
it's clear, though. Just put the clear
I
on.
agree, just use clear. Why are you using black?
It's insane.
It's nuts. All right. Beautiful beer league hotline. Let's get into our power rankings. Cannot move on until we agree.
Yep.
Are we doing 5 again?
We're doing 5 again, and it's getting way harder.
Way harder, Chris. If you're looking at the rankings in the league, you've got several teams who are 30 points or higher on the year, and the highest is 38.
Mm-hmm.
Lowest is 30 at Calgary, and that's 12 teams. Like we're tight in the pack here.
Yep.
I believe, for me personally, I've got a lock 1.
I think I do,
I
too.
actually might have a lock 1, 2, 3.
Oh, my God. I definitely don't, but I do think I have a lock 1, just like we did last time because it was the Jets because they were
Yeah.
$1 billion and
Do you want to
whatever.
say your lock 1 on 3?
Yes.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Caps.
Wild.
Let me tell you why I think it's the Caps. Fuck. Let me tell you why I think it's the Caps. The Cappies have 36 points in 25 games, 2 points behind the Wild.
In the same amount of games.
Same amount of games. The Cappies have not skipped a beat after Ovechkin went down.
Yeah.
And I think that has been pretty cool. Ovi's playing out of control. He was on like a 100-point pace. Definitely was going to break Gretzky's record based on pace. And he goes down with an injury that could have been so deflating, and they're still cruising.
Dude, you know what?
I think that shows a lot of steel.
I actually will. Was Wild your 2?
Uh-huh.
I actually will flop this because we have to agree. So I will go Caps Wild because, Dan, the Caps are a league best plus 31 goal diff this year.
Dude.
When last year they were like minus fucking 40 in the playoffs. And I was like, you are an embarrassment to the game and the Stanley Cup playoffs. Please get out. Please promptly get swept out of the playoffs, which they were. To turn that around to a league best plus 31 is so dope. And it's improved goalie play, obviously, but they're also scoring a ton. I think they have the most goals in the league. Let me check that, too. Yeah, they have 3 more goals than the Devils in 3 less games for the most goals in the league. That's awesome. And that is awesome. Like a 180 that I thought – I didn't even believe in the Caps process, summer that much, but I was like, even if they do stay a playoff team, they certainly won't have the highest win percentage in the league and have the best goal diff, blah, blah, blah. So for that, I commend you, and you're right. Caps Wild 1-2.
I love that. Caps Wild. Now it gets tricky for me. I think since we're doing this weekly, we've got to kind of be a little reactionary.
I know.
I'm going Devils 3. I hate how many games they have over everyone else, but the Devils are 7-3 in their last 10. They just put an absolute ball smacking on the Rangers. They look amazing. Jack Hughes is buzzing. He is on a 99-point pace. Bratt is on a 103-point pace. The D looks fantastic. I just think the Devils are as exciting as it gets right now.
Can I potentially...
You may. You absolutely may.
They have 4 less points, but in 4 less games. So a higher win percentage, and 8-2 in their last 10. The Toronto Maple Leafs.
Dude, okay, the Leafs are my next team. So since you did this for me,
yeah,
I'll do this for you. Let's go Leafs 3, Devils 4.
Do I want Devils 4?
Oh, come on. I just tried to be such a gentleman.
Who's your 5?
I felt very strongly about the Leafs. Let's stick on the Leafs.
Leafs
I
are
felt
3.
very strongly
Leafs
about the Mets,
nasty.
and I was going to say I might even put them 3. So we're going to go 3. I like that. We'll go Leafs 3.
And now we need to handle 4 and 5.
But let's give them their moment. Let's talk about the Leafs for a second.
It's what they've done with Matthews being out.
Yep.
And
they're better without him.
Yeah, fair.
Trade
so
him.
maybe that's the answer.
That's the Pettersson trade.
Wow, that would be crazy. We're going to get into a little bit of this in a second, so I don't want to go too far, but the goalie play, tremendous.
Stolarz has been
tremendous. And dude, I am the king of like, Berube isn't the answer, and like this is ridiculous. And we'll see. Like if they lose in the first round, none of this matters, you know. But
if they lose in the second round, none of this matters.
Yeah, but
there's too much star power on that team.
I was worried that they were going to be one of the like, oh fuck teams. What happened? Like kind of Boston. What's happening right now? Where not that Berube's going to get fired, he just got hired, but just like, ooh, we kind of thought this would change the culture. It didn't. We stripped the C off to like that was ripe for this totally worked or this totally did not work.
Agree.
And it's sick. Like they are fucking playing great.
I agree. I no disrespect to Berube here, but I actually am not ready to say that Berube's doing. I think this is a new coach bump.
Yeah.
I think that there's a new system and they're playing really well. I think Tavares has been sort of given a totally new role, not just with the whole captaincy thing, but I like the way they're playing because of a new system. And that's Berube. Good job.
Yeah.
I don't believe that there's any fucking culture change that Berube came in and has cracked the whip and blah, 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 blah. I really don't believe in that at all. I don't think Berube is this revolutionary coach that at his age people are like, holy shit, how has the entire league been missing on this? I just think it's a new voice and they are responding well to these new systems. But damn, are they responding well? I think they're winning great games. They're winning a lot of games that I feel like last year we saw them lose, and it is really amazing. And I just so much. I think Matty Nyes is playing very well.
Is he hurt?
And I think Willie Nylander is just. I think Willie has in Matthews' absence. I think Willie's swagger has taken over this team. I think he is the on ice gameplay leader of this team right now. We had that discussion with Tomer where Tomer said he thinks he's the better player. So many people lost their minds because they're like, Austin is a Selke-style player, which I agree with. But I do think Willie's talent and swagger, and we've seen it in the playoffs, I do think it stands out. I think he's a fucking bad boy.
Yeah, he is, bro.
And it's cool. Okay, so now we're at 4.
I want 4 and 5. There are really only 3 teams for me that are in the discussion.
All right, talk to me.
The Devils.
Yep.
The Stars.
Yep.
And fucking Vegas, dude.
Okay, so you're deading the Jets.
I think so because,
like I said, reactionary 3 and 7. You're not in our top 5.
You're just
dude.
not the 5th best team in the league.
You are not in our top
now.
5. Agree. Okay, so Vegas, Dallas, and Devils. I obviously want Devils in here.
Yep.
And between Vegas and Dallas, and I'm not going to say we're putting Devils at 4 yet because I know that you're maybe not entirely sure on that. Between Vegas and Dallas, for me, I think I like Dallas more.
I think so too, just by a little bit. But Vegas, I just give them so much credit, dude. Like, Stone's been out fucking so long. Eichel is having the best year of his fucking career. And they just chug along, dude. Like, we said many times, they cannot afford a long injury this year.
No.
And it's not been that long, but it's not nothing. Like, Stone
Absolutely.
has been out, and Stone was like leading the league in points when he went out. And he has been gone for a long time. And they are like, what, dude?
Yep.
We are nasty and we are going to win the Pacific again.
Yep.
And fuck you.
Yep.
So I just give them so much fucking credit. And they're such a good team, good structured, good coach team. But Dallas, and the Sagan injury is a thing, you know, like that's a problem. But Dallas is just fucking scary, dude. And they're 7-3 in their last 10 too. So I'd be okay going Devils, Dallas in some order.
Yeah, I think I want give me Devils 4.
Okay.
Give me Devils 4. I just think that they're buzzing in such a significant way. But then Dallas 5.
Devils 4, Dallas 5.
And I before we move on, I do want to, in what you were just talking about with Vegas. I mean, I've talked a lot about a guy that I think is going to win MVP that we're about to get to, but I also, a huge pick of mine was Eichel. Yeah, and I got laughed out the room, not by you, by like people. Some of the fans were like, he'll never last that many games, and knock on wood, he stays healthy. But when you talk about MVP, dude, most valuable player, and we talk about like for your team, Jack Eichel makes that team go, dude. He is the Quinn Hughes to the Vancouver Canucks as Jack Eichel for the Vegas Golden Knights. It's insane how good he is. Okay, our power rankings. Caps, Wild, Leafs,
bang, Devils,
Stars. Unbelievable. Let's kick it to starting 6, left wing. I just alluded to him. Talk to me.
Okay, we're going Krill. And NHL best, 39 points after his OT winner last night. We're recording on Wednesday. He is 3rd in the league in goals. You've said he's going to win MVP. I checked BetMGM. He's plus 240. He's the favorite. I was actually surprised that he was the betting favorite. You know, I knew it was like a hot pick. Plus 240 on BetMGM. McDavid plus 290 is next. Nate Dogg at plus 450. I'm actually shocked Nate isn't higher. Like, I know they don't often give back-to-backs, but, like, he's tied with Krill for the league lead in points. And I'm like...
I totally hear you. I literally, Chris...
It's their records.
I think it's just, like, I think the Vegas is looking at... Colorado is so fucking broken. They're so hurt.
Yeah.
And I think that they're probably being like... He will probably suffer because of that.
Kind of like Cooch last year.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But, yeah, I think that's a tasty bet.
Tasty bet,
240.
Dude. And quick thing on Krill... Remember when we were talking to Tomer and I went on my little rant about him being the highest paid player in the league? And Tomer was like, you're going to pay him more than Draisaitl?
Yeah.
Dude, here I am sitting being like, listen, I know we love talking about Connor, Nate, Makar, and Leon as the best players and Cooch as the best five. Why can't Krill be in this conversation? He's leading the league in points. He's young as fuck. He's coming into his own. Now there's a really good team around him with the Minnesota Wild, like Leon and Connor have in Edmonton, like Nate has in Colorado, like Cooch has in Tampa. And he is becoming one of the best. Like, maybe Krill is one of the best players in the league. Absolutely, he deserves that much fucking money. He's insane.
Correct.
Insane. At center, we just talked about him, Nate Dogg. And last night specifically is probably the reason he's in here right now. The Colorado Avalanche are fucking... They're devastated with injury, with goalie play. So much is going wrong. And in 8 shots, they give up 4 goals down 4-0 to the Buffalo Sabres, and then literally Nate Dogg went, no, absolutely not. Scores the first, then gets multiple assists, then scores the fourth, and ties it up, and then assists on the fifth goal, and they come back in regulation and beat the Buffalo Sabres 5-4. Nate Dogg is absolutely insane. He's got 39 points, tied for the league lead, 30 assists. He's just like doing everything to make his team better and dragging them through. And we've heard he's been a bit vocal. He's been a bit insufferable to deal with at times. Don't blame him because he's a fucking winner, dude. All he wants to do is win, and that team's making it difficult. Couple of things before we talk about Colorado and like what do they do, but like the Buffalo Sabres, dude.
Dude, it's just
what
leads are different these days in the league. Leads are different. Like the Penguins were up 4-1 and the Panthers, like that. It didn't used to go this way, and I love that it goes this way. No game's over really, but you can't lose that game in regulation at home.
Not lose that game in regulation at home.
That's
Are
crazy,
you fucking kidding me, Chris? Like that was wild.
You're just like in the position you're in, you just need every fucking point. It's like the most Buffalo loss I've ever seen.
It was the most Buffalo loss I've ever seen. To the point where you're almost like, Buffalo.
Yeah.
And also a message to my lovely friends on Twitter last night. I tweeted out like the Colorado Avalanche are broken.
Yeah.
And then boom, and someone was like, this aged poorly. And I was like, yes, it did. But also like they are broken.
Yeah.
But my God, no one does broken like the Buffalo Sabres. But this is my message to Sabres fans. Stop getting cocky. When they're playing well, Tage is buzzing right now. Shut up. What have we learned? What is the first rule of being a Buffalo Sabres fan? You don't talk about the Buffalo Sabres.
Yeah.
Just let them play. Every time you start talking and getting cocky, this happens.
Correct.
People got cocky on Twitter last night, and boom, they blow a 4-0 lead.
They're dead.
Unbelievable.
Okay, right wing.
Friend of the program.
Yep. We're going Lucas Raymond. 7 goals in his last 7. He's leading the Wings with 27 points in 25 games. But, Dan, the Wings are 10-11-4, including 3-5-2 in their last 10. They're sitting at 6th in a very crowded, as I always say, Atlantic. Yep. They aren't inspiring a ton of confidence for this playoff push, to my eyes.
I completely agree. Listen, I love the Wings. I love everybody. But everyone knows I love the Wings. Dylan Larkin is my guy. I'd do anything for him.
That was almost nasty goal last night.
I know.
Dude. He did. It's called like making the bridge in soccer. Boom, makes the bridge, goes backhand. Had him. Had Corby beat.
He had him. I'd do anything for Dylan. Do anything to see him in the playoffs. So I will always passionately root for that team. Obviously, I love Razor too.
Yep.
This team, they have never, with the ownership of the Detroit Red Wings, they have never fired a coach in the regular season.
Wow, that's crazy.
It's always over summer. Mm-hmm. Anytime they've made a coaching change. They've never mid-season fired a coach. So I do not believe they're going to start right now. I think that is a mistake. This is the first time. We always make the joke. We don't want to talk about anyone's job. This is the first time I'm saying I think Lalonde should be coaching in the NHL. I don't think this is the team it should be happening with.
Yeah.
I think last season was people were, after that losing streak, people were like, does Lalonde need to be fired? And at that point, it was like, no.
Yeah.
But then when the season came down to the close and they didn't sneak in, I was like, you probably should change the coach here. They didn't. Now here we are. It's unacceptable what this team is looking like. But we also both said it in the summer that it was very clear that defense and goalie needed to be everything for that team. And they didn't really address it. I think Talbot has been great. I think Lyon's been great. Mm-hmm. But ultimately, it's just like that wasn't enough. Defense wasn't enough. Mm-hmm. And dude, 3-5-2 in their last 10 is just so bad. And like last night against the Bruins, that's a game you have to win. Like you went up twice.
Yeah.
I just don't think the Bruins were. I think the Bruins in the first period put a lot of pressure on, but like you weathered the storm. I think you should win that game. Oh man, I if I'm a Red Wings fan, I do not feel like we are going to do enough to unseat one of these top. Like the Bruins are feeling like they're getting better under their new coach bump. Like, are you going to take them out? You just lost to them, so maybe not. So I do not feel good if I'm a Detroit Red Wings fan right now. It's insane. Yeah. What do you think about that? Did you see that play where Zadorov slashed Razor and then got the penalty and then gave him a jab in the ribs?
Maybe I didn't see that one.
Zadorov gave Raymond a whack on the hand.
Yeah.
Raymond in play stopped playing and started shaking his hand like that. Delayed penalty call. They blow the whistle, and then Zadorov went up and really gave him a cross check to the ribs where Raymond went down. And whole calamity announcers were like, oh, he might get another one, all this. And then after the game, Zadorov was like, I can't fucking stand people shaking their hands. We're all getting slashed. This is a man's game. Stop fucking being a bitch on the ice and like shaking your hand and embellishing. Fuck off. Where do you stand on that? I can't tell if it's me liking the Bruins, because I certainly like Lucas enough that I'd be like, fuck you. But I was a little bit like, I kind of like that.
I do agree. Don't shake your hand because it's on purpose.
Yeah.
Like, I guess if you went like this, for the people watching us, if you were like, and it was just that reaction, that's natural.
Oh, yeah.
But then the
wag.
Yeah. I'm like, that's on purpose.
I've been victim to it.
100%.
Excuse me. I have done it.
Yeah.
I have committed this felony.
Yep.
I've been slashed and I've been like, fuck. And I go like this. And I'm doing it to be like, I just got slashed.
Yep.
And people on the bench have been like, fuck you, pussy, put your hand away. And I'm like, yeah, you're right.
Dude,
I kind of like it.
What I did see was can you, if someone goes like this, stick comes up here, and I go, whoa, and act like I got hit in the face, and the guy's like, I didn't hit him. Is that challengeable right now?
Dude, there was a play last season where someone tripped Ovi and they called a penalty, and Ovi literally went up to it's like the first time in NHL history. He was like, that is not a penalty.
McCarr
Take
did
that off
it too one time.
Take that off the board.
McCarr finger whacked a ref, and then he put his hand
Yeah,
back.
but this one was they whistled it down,
Yeah.
and Ovi was like, no.
Yeah.
Which is sick. They do it in soccer all the time.
Yeah.
A card will come out, and a player will be like, no, I fucking tripped on myself. Like, don't do that. I don't know if it's challengeable.
Because the reverse happened last night where Pasta tossed one. It was pretty late, backdoor to Zaka, and he got the defenseman went to lift his stick and just bang right in the face. And Zaka's like, oh, and like limped back to the bench. And like Bucci on the call's like, oh, Zaka like takes a high stick to the face, crawls back, and I'm like, this is a 2-2 game with a minute left.
Yeah,
and he was bleeding. He's like spitting up blood.
Yeah,
I'm like, that's a 4-minute power play.
Yeah,
and no one did anything. So I was like, clearly this can't be challenged. But that feels
it's
crazy
bullshit
to me that you can't be like, this is on camera. He whacked him in the face.
Couldn't agree more. Like, I also think the opposite. When you stick lift, which is legal, and then their stick hits them, that gets called a lot, and I'm like, fuck that, dude. Like, that's a good hockey play.
I think maybe if there is a call, you can challenge it.
Yeah, I think maybe.
But I don't know.
All right, let's round out our starting six. Lefty, we got Zach Werenski, 12 points in his last 5 fucking games, dude. Insane. 2-goal, 3-assist, 5-point night against Tampa, and a 7-6 OT win. He's third among defensemen right now. He's behind Cale and Quinn. Jackets are on an unbelievable run here.
Yep.
Unbelievable run, playing way better than we thought. This guy is, I feel like a lot of people have kind of forgot how good Zach Werenski is.
Dude,
and
he
it's
is
awesome.
Nasty.
Yep, it's awesome to see him healthy and see this Blue Jackets team really coming together.
Because this is what you want, right? If you're Columbus, you want to
100%.
finish 6th or 7th this year.
100%.
Okay, see. And also, I feel like the Islanders get the, kind of like the Caps get for me, the treatment where I'm like, I don't dislike the Islanders. I just don't want to watch them in the playoffs because I don't think they can do anything. And they are currently, I think, dead last in the Met. And that kind of brings me joy. Because I'm like, okay, and maybe it forces their hand too, where I'm like, fucking figure it out.
Yeah.
But I'm like, good. So yeah, stick taps to Columbus and Pittsburgh for going on a nice little run here and making something happen. Right D, speaking of Pitt, we're going Erik Karlsson. He's got 5 points in his last 5, all apples. He only has 2 goals on the year, actually. Of those 5 games, Dan, the Penguins have won 4 in a row, and Karlsson is a +1, which doesn't sound that good, but he was a -12 on the year before this stretch. So what I think is... And, dude, there's just like a run of left D being so nasty in the league right now. And obviously, Kale's the guy, and he's been reasonably quiet, which is why we didn't pick him this week. Mm-hmm. But when Karlsson is contributing defensively too, he's giving you point per game and not being a dash. Because he's not prime Karlsson anymore, obviously. But when he's that, then he still has significant value. And hence why they've won 4 straight games. Like when he's a -5, but he had 5 points, I'm like, yeah, but you're killing me. This is good Erik Karlsson. This is what they wanted. And if they got this more often, they would be in the playoff conversation.
Yeah. And he's buzzing. And goalie, we're going to go Joe Woll.
Come on, dude.
Holy shit. What we said earlier, Toronto's playing unbelievable. Stolarz has been unbelievable. But Joe is currently 6-2 on the year, 5 straight wins. He's got a 2.13 goals against and a .932 save percentage. 3rd in the league. He is He's everything that they wanted him to be.
Exactly.
Everything that they wanted him to be.
And when he starts the year and they're like, well, we believe in Joe Wall, that's the move. And then he starts the year hurt. I'm like, well, here we go. And then we said, good thing you got stars. That's huge. He plays awesome for you in reserve minutes and still playing good in his starts right now because they're going to split time. But Joe gets back and is like, nope, I'm sick. See, there was no injury issue.
Yeah.
Or there was an injury issue, but it didn't derail me at all. That will be the difference for me, dude. The goaltending.
Hondo P,
like,
dude.
If they are like, we have sick goaltending, and everybody said that. I'm not making that up. But if they have actually very good goaltending, then they have always had the firepower.
Yeah,
so then
because OEL and Tanev have been good. Like, it's solid stuff.
Insane.
Unreal. All right, now we're going to get into what's the connection. This is a fun little game that we're playing right now. So what I'm going to do here, for anyone who's unfamiliar with the game, CP is going to get 10 sort of trivia questions, if you will, from me. He has to get all the answers, and then the 10th question is going to be what connects all of these things based on the answers.
Last time we played, everything was from the TV show The Office.
Correct. Are you ready, my friend?
Yes.
Number 1. After losing their franchise in 1993 and seeing the team move down south, this team brought NHL hockey back to the state in 2000.
They lost their team in 93. It went down south. And then they brought hockey back to the state in 2000. Okay, so...
And how did we do that? Do you want me to tell you if you're right or not?
No.
Okay.
And what's the question? I'm just going to write down my answers. The question is, what's the team name?
Yes.
Okay, so I think it's the Minnesota... Oh, interesting, though. I wonder... You don't have to answer this, but it's either the Minnesota Wild or Minnesota North Stars, because the North Stars was the team that left.
I will tell you the answer I'm looking for is the new team that came in 2000.
Okay, so I think this one's the Minnesota Wild. Continue.
After a full season of speculation over losing their starting goalie only to see it happen this summer, their backup turned starter is sporting a better save percentage than the goalie who moved to the Metropolitan.
Great. Okay, so there was a ton of speculation, and then they lost their goalie this summer.
After a full season of speculation over losing their starting goalie only to see it happen this summer, their backup turned starter is sporting a better save percentage than the goalie who moved to the Metropolitan.
So it's the team again?
No. We're talking about the goalie. The backup turned starter.
So him. Okay, I think it's Dustin Wolf. I think...
You don't need to say I think. If you know, you can be confident, baby.
You're right. I should be more confident. But there's a few of those that apply, but I'm going Wolf.
Okay. Number 3. At just 27 years old, this first overall pick has won a Calder, 3 Rocket Richards, a Hart, and is the only player in modern NHL history to score 4 goals in their debut.
Matthews. Poppy. Dude, what a run.
Number 4. This Swedish defenseman has been a top name this season for potential trade speculation while also having a hot start to his year.
Okay, Swedish defenseman, trade speculation, and he's had a hot start.
He sure has.
Swedish defenseman, trade speculation. So, Swedish defenseman, Dahlin, Hedman,
You know that both of those guys have not been trade speculated.
I know. Hot start. Is Rasmus Anderson Swedish? Okay, I'm going to write that down and slightly pass on this.
This NHL writer, this is number 5. This NHL writer, podcast host, and insider is often considered the Adrian Wojnarowski of the hockey world.
Fuck. Elliot Friedman, I'm going with on that one.
Okay. What is this, number 6 or 7?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 6.
Part of the 1967 NHL expansion, this team pulled off possibly the biggest trade in NHL history in the late 80s.
Whoa. Okay. I feel like that has got to be the Kings, but I don't know if they're part of the 67 expansion. But biggest trade in history is making me think Gretzky trade. Is that 60? What? You don't have to know this, but I wonder what round of teams was the 67 expansion?
It's very well documented.
Is that to 12? Like, is that the...
Yes.
Okay.
I believe so.
I'm going Kings there, but I'll remember that one.
Number 7.
Yep.
This term that also shares its name with a popular animated TV character is used for NHL fans who can't remove their bias for their favorite team.
Okay, this term shares its name with an animated TV character. Is that what you said?
This term that also shares its name with a popular animated TV character is used for NHL fans who can't remove their bias for their favorite team.
Can't remove their bias. Okay. Pass, but I'll get that.
Okay. Number 8. This Canadian center won a Stanley Cup with the Washington Capitals in 2018. A year later, he was traded to the team they defeated, where he would later win his second Stanley Cup.
Ooh, okay. They were... So he's on Vegas, or he was on Vegas. Center. Jack, Willie, Chandler Stevenson. I think he was on the Caps that year. Okay.
Number 9.
Yep.
This all-time LA King is the franchise's all-time games leader while also leading them to 2 Stanley Cups.
This King is the franchise game leader and has 2 cups. That's all it says. Fuck. Okay, I think... My knee-jerks are Kopi or Brownie. Read it one more time.
This all-time LA King is the franchise's all-time games leader while also leading them to 2 Stanley Cups.
Yeah, so it's from this era. Kopi's fucking 37. Brownie played a while. Okay.
All right.
So
which ones do you need again?
No, I think I'm okay because I remember the questions. I think I like Minnesota Wild, Dustin Wolf, Austin Matthews, Rasmus Anderson. I'm not sure. Elliot Fried. Read me the podcaster one again.
You got that one.
Okay, Elliot Friedman. The LA Kings, I think. Chandler Stevenson, I think. Anzi or Brownie, I don't know. I always say that wrong, but how do you actually pronounce his name? Anja. And then TV character bias. All right, let me see if I can dig into a theme here, though. Are any of those egregiously wrong?
There is only one.
Okay.
That I will tell you.
Don't tell me which one it is yet.
Well, no, I'll tell you.
Okay.
The 67 NHL expansion one.
Okay.
That is correct. A letter will be removed.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, fine. Yeah, that's fine. And that counts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So... Well, I'm looking at these names. I got shook.
So give the listeners all of your answers
Minnesota
again.
Wild, Dustin Wolf, Austin Matthews, Rasmus Anderson, Elliot Friedman, the Los Angeles Kings, Chandler Stevenson, and then Kopi or Brownie. And I don't have the term, which is a TV character, animated TV character name for teams with bias. Or fans with bias. I originally went Pink Hat. And in my mind, I was like, oh, yeah, you're like a Pink Hat fan. But that's more fair weather than bias, I think. Okay. Wild.
I feel great about this.
Yeah, this is nice. This is right in the wheelhouse, dude. Wild Wolf. And dude, I know that there are so many people screaming what the answer is right now.
Yeah, which I love.
Yep. Wild Wolf. I'm wondering if it's all... There's two... interesting.
I feel bad that I had Nate with me.
Yeah.
Your solo dolo.
It's nice to have a friend, dude. It's nice to have a friend. Stevenson.
Do you need a hint?
Not yet.
Okay.
Minnesota.
Because we got to keep chatter up here.
Yeah, for sure. Minnesota is interesting because at first it went wild and wolf.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, like we're in like.
Yep. Well, let me tell you. On that one specifically, wild is correct.
That's the right answer? Yeah.
Yes.
I thought so.
No, but wild is correct.
Oh, okay. Interesting. All right, that's a good hint. So I wonder if it's like. There's a lot of names in here, which makes me think those are characters from something, book, movie, TV. And it's something set in the wild. Maybe.
Tell me when you want me to speak.
Not yet.
Okay.
Matthews, Friedman, Anderson, and I think it's King based on what you said before.
Which should give you another hint.
Yep, Wild and King. King of the Wild. And I wonder if Elliot Friedman is such a unique, both of them. You know, like I'm really trying to latch on to that. And I feel like it's my instincts are telling me it's Elliot. What do I know an Elliot
Correct.
from?
Do you want to? I have another hint for you.
Okay.
You said before your instinct is that these are names from that are then characters in the wild.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say stick with the first thing you said. These are names.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe someone's name is Wild. That's interesting. Okay, I know some people named Wild, I think.
Talk them out.
Olivia Wilde.
Keep going.
The Wild Thornberries.
Keep going. Further away. You were very close with the first one.
Really?
Very close.
Olivia Wilde. Oh, Oscar Wilde.
Okay.
Okay. Hold on. Oscar Wilde. Maybe these are authors.
Maybe they are. CP.
Maybe they're authors.
Maybe they are.
So it would be T.S. Eliot.
Yep.
Okay. Wow, authors, dude. That is fucking really nice. So I'm making my answer for 10 authors. So then I feel good about all my answers except for the 7 TV character bias.
Well, what you had the two separate ones for.
Yeah, fuck.
But come on.
Well, it has to be Dustin Brown then.
Because.
Well, I have two.
Because Chris.
Oh, Pierce. Sick. Okay.
Could also be another one too.
Pierce Brown. Oh.
Dan Brown.
Oh, yeah. Okay. And then, Dan Brown is actually cooler because it's Dustin. Dan Brown, Pierce Brown, TV character. Give me that one again, number 7. Now that I know it's authors.
This term that also shares its name with a popular animated TV character, very popular, is used for NHL fans who can't remove their bias for their favorite team.
Dude, for people that have never played, and I hope you played last time we did this, for people that have never played this game, there are 2 things that can happen. You can get all 9 and you just can't get the connection, and that's frustrating. But when you have 8 of the other ones and you have the connection and you still can't get the 9th, it's the most frustrating thing that's ever happened, and that's currently what I'm living in. Very popular animated TV show.
But think about term. I think you're
bias.
You're focusing too much on the character. Because
And
right
it's
now,
an
what's going
author.
on in your head is a billion different characters. What do you call someone who is so biased about the team that they love?
They are a fuck, dude. They I was about to say they're a dick rider, but I don't think that's a famous author.
It's not. It's
Oh,
not.
dude. Okay. They're delusional. They are.
Here, let me help you get there.
Yep.
What? It would be a reason why you love a team.
Because I am a super fan.
Well, why would you become a fan of a certain team?
Because I'm from there.
Which would be your
Hometown hero, hometown team.
You've said the word a couple times here.
hometown fan.
I now I'm worried that I'm going to say it and you're going to be like, oh yeah, I guess I've heard that. But I'm like, this is one of the most common terms ever. And also the second part of the clue, like I can't believe it's taking you this fucking long to get there.
Hometown.
This is also another term for a hit in baseball.
Hometown. Single knock.
You said the word. You just need to add one letter to it.
Hometown.
I think this is dead air. Dead air. I think I got to give it to you.
Hometown bias. Hometown.
It's one word.
Oh, so it's not with hometown.
Well, it's I've said, you've said the word, and you just need to add a letter to it.
Oh. Homer.
Correct.
Fuck.
So
That's really
the
good.
connection is authors: Oscar Wilde, Virginia Woolf, Jane Austen, Lewis Carroll, or C.S. Lewis if you'd like, Hans Christian Andersen, Stephen King, T.S. Eliot, Homer, Robert Louis Stevenson, and Dan or Pierce Brown.
Wait. Go do that again. Oscar Wilde, Virginia Woolf,
Jane Austen,
Jane Austen. What was the fourth question?
Hans Christian Andersen. I said Lewis Carroll.
I was like, fuck,
I
dude, I didn't even get that one.
I didn't do Lewis Carroll. I was gonna do a Trevor Lewis clue, but I was like, I have too much King stuff.
Yeah.
Hans Christian Andersen, T.S. Eliot, Stephen King,
Yes.
Homer, The Iliad,
Yep. Hell yeah.
Robert Louis Stevenson, and Pierce Brown or Dan Brown.
Authors. Sick.
I'm gonna give it to you.
No, I didn't get. Well, I guess I eventually got there, but I needed a ton of help for Homer.
You needed too much help for Homer.
But I did get. I am giving myself authors.
100%. You got authors. I'm very proud of you. Anyway, that is it for us this week at the Empty Netters podcast. Great stuff going on. These rosters are crazy. The league is absolutely buzzing right now. We got some cool stuff coming
Good time
up.
to be a hockey fan.
Very good time.
And have a great weekend, everybody. Thursday pod. Weekend's basically here.
That's true.
So and hey, this weekend when you're looking at something to do Friday night, Friday Beer's card game.
Oh,
It's been changing our pregame. It's the Almost Friday feeling whenever you want it. They got the horse race. They got, most likely to. I love that one.
I love that
one
too.
ends friendships, though.
It totally does. But I'll tell you what, man. I mean, you all know this. I'm a house cat. I prefer hanging in with a bunch of friends, sitting around the table, gassing some drinks, having a good time, eating a good meal. But you can also do that at a nice pub or a nice bar or restaurant. And the card game's mobile, dude. Take it anywhere.
Dude, it's so fun.
It is like when you're waiting for your meal, or it's one of those things where you're like, let's go get some drinks, and you're like, we're just going to a day bar or something like that. It's like, bring the card game.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
And gets the night, dude, on the right trajectory.
Yeah.
Poof. And then check out the Glory Days pod.
Yeah, I was gonna say, speaking of trajectory,
Yeah.
Glory Days pod is buzzing. If you
Firing.
guys looking for more shows to fill your weekdays
It
with,
films right there. Like we are
Yeah,
sitting right
I'm
here.
looking
It's
at
right there. I can see the set. And yeah, the cast of characters that Johnny and the boys are bringing in.
yeah, the guy Johnny Menzel's hosting a great show. He's had Shady McCoy, Tyler Hansborough just recently on. Just great stuff, great stories.
We were making Hansborough shoot free throws. He's got the record for most free throws.
You mean
made.
shoot free throws? You mean just bash free
Yeah,
throws?
and I was like, and he's like, the rim's not 10 feet. And I was like, he's going to choke. And then he's just bucket.
Oh, it's unbelievable. But there you go. There are your weekend plans. Make sure your Christmas tree's up. Make sure your Christmas tree
Real
lights
tree,
are
real
up.
tree, real tree.
tree all day. And listen, until you get take care of all that and see us next time, make sure
you skate hard.